it seems like we're too stubborn to kind of figure it out, especially at this time of the year, as late as it may be. I think we've got to learn to play a full 60 minutes, and that's something we've struggled with all year, and it's something we struggled with again tonight.
They now have 2 games left. They'll be in Pittsburgh on Sunday. Joe Sacco also confirmed yesterday Charlie McAvoy and Mark Kastelik will not return this season. Celtics also have 2 games left. They finish up with back-to-back home games against Charlotte. The first one is tonight at TD Garden. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Jaylen Brown out with a sore knee. Red Sox got 2 in the bottom of the 10th inning. They beat Toronto 4-3 to avoid a 4-game sweep at Fenway Park. Trevor Story's grounder to second base with the bases loaded scored the winning run. Sox have split their first 14 games of the season. They visit the White Sox tonight. The Red Sox also yesterday signed free agent catcher Yasmani Grandal to a minor league contract. Patriots have announced that Julian Edelman, Logan Mankins, and Adam Vinatieri are the 3 finalists for election into the team's Hall of Fame. And Justin Rose fired a 7 under 65. He's got a 3-shot lead after 1 round of the Masters. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Catches Law. At Catches, they specialize in helping those who have been injured not only from a one-time incident, but from a lifetime of hard work and labor. Does this sound like you? Visit CatchesLaw.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Boston plays here.
Pressure, half court, it's in the air. He got it! He did it again!
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
When has that been necessary to fact check?
and Hardy
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
on 98.5.
Hey there.
Sarge GPT going up.
Let me hear you say, "Boo! Boo! Boo!"
Crush me, mommy.
Say my name.
I'm a robot.
I'm the son of the Pope.
I'm a goddamn dragon!
Yeah, good luck, dude.
Nothing like a good tushy.
I love you. And I think you know that.
Excuse me?
Toucher and Hardy
Watch Daddy and Uncle Freddie.
Knocking back some fun. Having some fun.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go. April 11th. I think it's safe to say this has not happened since I've lived here.
Yeah. Lawn was covered when I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I remember snow falling from the sky, at least periodically it happened the other morning and stuff, but when I got up this morning, there was snow on the lawn. It'll be gone, I'm sure, by the time I get home, but I don't need to see that.
I'm sure it'll stick around for a while.
No, it's going to be bad. This real bad weather this weekend too.
Supposed to get some more later. A little more snow a little later. Today.
John, it says it's raining at 7 a.m., and then after that, it's going to be up over 40. So the snow's going to be gone. Don't make it worse than it is.
Little front's going to move through later today. More snow.
No,
Give you a little
that's
fun.
not true. Actually,
Sure it is.
No, it's not. It's stopping snowing this morning,
Okay.
but it is snowing.
Where's Prince already? The Prince song that we've been talking about that we would get to play?
That's right. Sometimes it snows in April. Yep.
Yeah.
Off the parade soundtrack.
But that's in Minneapolis. You understand?
Yeah.
That's Minneapolis expects things like that. I don't recall this has ever happened, to be honest. If I may be so bold as to be honest.
You're talking
this
about
subject.
like the actual sticking on the ground part of it.
I don't recall it ever snowing in April. I know.
I'm not going to say every single year, but more years than not, we get some snow in April.
Okay. Because the big thing was that April Fool's Day snowstorm.
Yep.
And I always remember just going, I every time they bring it up, because they bring it up every April 1st, I go, well, I've never seen snow in April. It's certainly never been like this. I'm not denying that it's happened. I went last night to Dan Alperin, our sales guy, had a lovely charity thing that I went to yesterday, and then I went to Laugh Boston. I've never been to Laugh Boston. I haven't been to I don't know if I've been to a comedy club in Boston.
Really?
Yeah, I used to go to the Punchline in Atlanta all the time.
Interesting.
I put on a couple comedy shows in Atlanta, like at a very small, because it was like a college arena, like but small, like not like 9,000 seat or something, but like a 3,000 seat arena. And I was telling the friend I went with yesterday, I was like, it's one of those things that I can't believe I did. Craig Gass was one of those things that Craig Gass came into town and then he didn't leave. By the way, he never returned the second text. Yeah. So I have to bother him again. But the Craig Gass is a comedian. He used to sit on Stern in the Jackie chair before they figured out who they were going to put in the Jackie chair.
We used to have him on the show all the time during the Super Bowl week, right?
I wouldn't say all the time.
Well,
but
at least 2 or 3 times that I remember.
He would wander around. Oh, all the time, meaning that, yeah, like most Super Bowls, yes. But
every Super Bowl, there was a conversation.
Because I'm about to get to what all of the time means.
Okay.
But Craig Gass is very, very, he does great voices in like really obscure voices that make it 10 times funnier because, you know, when everyone's doing an impression or someone's like Christopher Walken, it's not funny. It's not nearly as funny to me as someone who does Paul Stanley not on stage. Like he does Paul Stanley's speaking voice, which the first time I heard it, I was just overcome with laughter. You know, Larry Fine that Billy West used to do. Like Larry Fine, like that's such a great one. Gilbert Gottfried, Klaus von Bülow, or Dracula, or whatever is you know great. So he stayed in. He used to come and then he wouldn't leave. So not for that morning, but for like a week, as long as he was like a vagabond. He was like a hobo. He would just come into the city. He had nowhere else to go, so he would just hang around. And so I was like, let's put on a show. And this is how big radio was at the time. I'm like, let's do a show. I was able somehow to book a college arena, like a smaller college arena. He and another local comic. So it was me, the local comic, then him. And I went up and did 10 minutes unprepared. I forgot I had done that.
You did 10 minutes of material or just like riffing or
like riffing.
That's insane.
I did 10 minutes and it went over well.
Wow.
I made fun of my mother-in-law because she was there, and it was like, and I just not like Henny Youngman, but I I could never do it again. I was so young that I didn't care.
How did you forget that? I mean, that doing 10 minutes and actually getting a positive response while it's all off the top of your head, that's a great achievement.
Well, I remember on the Y2K New Year's Eve, I had to go up before comics. I was getting paid, and this was there was this like hotel that I did a gig at where there was like different stuff in like all these rooms for Y2K, and one of them was a comedy room. And I went up, and I thought I didn't know I had to do material, and I had nothing. And so I just got I was like kind of drunk, and I just got like real negative. And the woman that came up after me that I brought on went, "Thanks a lot, a-hole." Like, so that I remember, but I didn't really, dude. As you get older, like, you know, everything mishmashes together. But in a lot of stories, I told you that Night of the Gun. Like if you could bring 3 people into a room, have them tell their truth, put them on a lie detector that they are absolutely sure of something that happened. Get 3 people talking about the same thing, and you're going to get divergent stories on everything. But this did happen. This did happen. It's not one of the. I'm glad I forgot about it because the stories I tell over and over again, who knows like what really happened at this point? If I've been telling a story for 30 years, I don't know what the hell happened. Like to me, it's true, but like, you know, it's not a fake premise. But I don't know the details of it. But this is very much true. Somehow we were able to turn around a show with the help of the radio station in like 5 days. And we got this like small Atlanta college in Atlanta's little arena, and we were able to sell it out. There's no way we sold out 3,000. It had to be way small. It had to be like 1,000 seats, but whatever. We did it very quickly. And I did that. But anyway, I could never do it again. I was young enough to like just be so entitled and not care.
Was that like the plan? I'm fascinated by this, Fred. Was that the plan going into it, or was it just once you got there, you were like, all right, I'll go warm the crowd up, and it just turned into something more?
I was like, I was gonna go up, and I had 10 minutes, and all happened so quickly and it was so loose that I like the whole like cobbling it. That's why like it was so easy to do. Like we just did it, and then it was all cobbled together.
Yeah.
I grabbed the microphone. You have to understand, this is a super friendly crowd.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like at the Wilbur when we do the shows. We'll do something again. I actually thought of something that I've told you guys about that's going to be easy and fun and inexpensive that I would like to do. And you guys agree, we would like to do for the audience. Not at the Wilbur, like not that big, but I'm sure eventually we'll do something at the Wilbur again. They're fun, but it wasn't hard. But yeah, I got up. I wasn't even nervous because I was like 26. I didn't.
Yeah, you don't know any better.
I didn't.
You
care.
don't overthink it because that's you. You don't overthink things at that age. You just do them.
So we talked about this before when I was in Vegas and we would do the like quarterly stand-up nights. And have the good comedians come in. It would be Otto and George. It would be, God, I'm trying to think of some of the other regulars that we had in there. But they always wanted the station host to go up there and do a couple of minutes, not just to introduce.
Yes,
right.
And look, I wasn't like thrilled about it. And the one time I was really nervous was Otto and George because there was no opener, and that's when they wanted me to do like a real. Like 5+ minutes if I could.
You should have brought out the newspaper. Just like that Fred Armisen character.
What did you do?
I've told this before. I won't tell the whole story again, but I was super, super nervous. So the guy said, he can't go up there cold. Just tell a couple of jokes. Even if you bomb, get people to yell at you. Just get the crowd loose and warm and something and whatever. And before the show, I saw Penn Jillette, who is other entertainers would come see Otto and George, the guy and his puppet, the filthy ventriloquist act. And I interviewed Penn a couple of times, and I introduced myself again, and I told him I was terrified because I had to go up there and do 5 minutes. He's like, "Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine." So I get up there and I introduce myself, and I say a couple of things I think are mildly funny and tell a joke, and he's sitting pretty close, just off stage left. Few tables from the front. And I hear him go, "Ho, ho, ho, ho." And he's got a very distinctive voice, and his head sits above everybody else.
He's a tall guy.
So other people in the crowd start laughing because they're like, "Oh, Penn Jillette thinks it's funny. I'll laugh too." So I do my 7 minutes, whatever, get off. Otto and George go out there. He kills. And afterward, I saw Penn. I said, "Hey, man, thanks. I heard you laughing there." And he's like, "Oh, don't mention I couldn't watch it die up there."
Yeah, that's
you're,
great.
You're better than I am. I was hosting when we were at BCN. We would have Artie come all the time because obviously we had the Stern Show on.
And they're close.
He came up, yeah, and it was Comedy Connection Faneuil Hall, and I was hosting, and I get there and Artie's already half in the bag backstage, and he's like, "You got to do 5 minutes," and I'm like, "What do you mean do 5 minutes?" He's like, "No, I need you to do 5 minutes," and thankfully. There was an opener, and it was Lamont Price, local guy, really funny guy. And he bailed my ass out. He was like, "Artie, don't worry about it." He goes, "I'll do 20 instead of 15. He's not going to do, he's not, and Artie was like adamant that I had to do 5 minutes. But once he found out that Lamont was going to eat the 5 minutes,
comedians are
he was okay with that.
They have very specific ideas of what they want in terms of going on before them and how much time they need and they should. They've been doing it for a long time. They know what works and what doesn't, but that doesn't mean we're the people to do it.
Well, yeah, because what they're used to and what almost everyone does is the headliner will travel with another comic that goes on before him. They're like friends and they travel. That was the case last night. In fact, when the headliner, I don't even remember who it was. When the headliner, he was fine, he was good. And so was the guy he brought with him. But when the headliner needed water, like the guy who came up before him brought him the water. So it was like that kind of situation. And then there's a local comic that goes on, first. And I didn't even see the local comic. I saw the end of it, whatever. And then there's an MC. So MC. And we didn't get there in time to see the MC, unfortunately, do like the 5 minutes. I was very disappointed by that. But yeah, that's usually how they like it, like traveling with a guy.
Yeah. It has an idea of they have the same sense of what the crowd is like, and what they're going to need to get juiced up.
Yeah. All right.
I was doing too much running around yesterday. I did not watch nearly as much of the Masters.
Whoa.
Did you listen to Masters Radio?
A ton. I mean, I was doing airport runs and taking my son places.
Your mother came.
Yeah.
She bring anyone?
Yeah.
Huh.
Who'd she bring?
Charlie.
Who's her?
He.
No, I'm sorry. Who is he?
That would have been very funny. Oh, Charlie, that's a fun name for a woman. How long have they been friends? No, Fred, you know this. Charlie is her gentleman friend.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't being funny. I just am an idiot. All right, how?
Great. We stopped and had lunch at Marina Bay on the way back from the airport, and by the time we finally got home, I'm like, it's 2:00. The only Masters I've watched up until this point is like on my phone, sitting in the cell phone lot at Logan, and a little bit here in the studio. But I was listening to Masters Radio, and my mom would start to say something like, "So has Katie on to say shush shush?" And I'm turning up the volume for essentially the sound of insects and birds. Because somebody is putting on Masters Radio.
Isn't Charlie man enough that you don't have to get your mother from the airport? If she's got a traveling male companion, can't Charlie handle getting to your house?
They are very capable people. I just find it the right thing to do when available to pick up my mother from the airport.
Well, it's not just your mother. It's not your poor mother. It's mother and virile Charlie.
Yeah, they're both over 80.
Whatever. I mean, are they? You said they have their wits about them.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. Well, let them get a car.
No.
Yeah.
They have the last time they were here. They did because they didn't even come to the house first. They went up to. They were going somewhere in Maine.
Oh, the parents, older parents love going up to Maine before they hit the house.
Yeah.
They love a gunkwit.
Oh, no, not mine.
Oh, really?
No.
No, thank you.
I wouldn't go there again.
No, thank you. Look, fine people, but
yeah, I wouldn't want to be with them.
I mean, sharing a pool.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
What happened last night is brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what the heck happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew LaPresti.
Yeah.
1-800-GET-HAIR. That's 1-800-GET-HAIR.
Bruins were home to play the Blackhawks last night.
Yeah, those bees. Let's go.
You
watched that game, John? You listened to it on the radio there, Hero?
I did listen to Ryan last night. I was driving my son around last night at basketball practice. So, yes, I did listen to Ryan.
Yeah. You captivated?
Yes.
Yeah.
David Pastrnak scored early, didn't he, Hardy?
Yeah. You were super into it. Good for you.
Yeah, I was going to say the Bruins scored first last night. If you had to guess who scored for the Bruins.
Did you want them to win
night.
last night?
Of course.
So you hate the Bruins?
I don't hate the Bruins. I put the draft pick aside. You know, your Bruins fandom takes over. It's like you and the Jets that last week of the season.
No.
It's not.
No.
No.
That's nonsense. That's nonsense.
I wanted the Bruins to win last night.
Well, then you're an idiot.
Okay. Then I'm an idiot.
You just said that. You've said 18 times on the show how you want them to lose so they get a better draft pick.
And you know what? I did say that a lot, but sitting there listening to it, I didn't actively root for the Bruins to lose. When Pastrnak scored, I was happy.
And maybe he changed his mind.
No, I didn't change my mind. I just got caught up in it. Even though the game didn't mean anything.
That's right. He got caught. He got well caught up in it.
I was listening to our friend Ryan Johnston.
Yeah, I'm aware. He calls the games.
Yeah.
I was part of the. I was the one campaigning for him.
That's right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So no surprise that it was, in fact, David Pastrnak.
As Lindholm pass hits Geeky, kicks into the Chicago zone. Comes around behind the net. Pastrnak helped to create a turnover. Lindholm scored! And the Bruins jump on the board just past the midway point of the first period. It's 1-0.
And it would stay 1-0 for the rest of the period. Chicago would score in the second, 1-1 going into the third. Chicago would then score to take a 2-1 lead, but anybody's game at that point until...
And Bertuzzi leads the Blackhawks forward, trying to get it to Teravainen. It redirected back to Bertuzzi, who shoots and scores. And the Blackhawks, with back-to-back goals early here in the third, have a 3-1 lead. Another goal by a former Bruin.
And that's all they would need, is the Blackhawks
Not for very long.
What?
He's not synonymous with the team or anything. I mean,
Bertuzzi, I know. And I heard that earlier. I'm like, is Bertuzzi? Oh, yeah, Bertuzzi was a Bruin for one or two seasons.
No, not even.
Like 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months.
He was during that
month and a half.
He was one of the guys they added on during that record-breaking year at the end.
Yeah.
And for some reason, he didn't end up sticking around. Which I'm not being sarcastic. Like, I don't understand why that didn't end up happening.
As I remember it, the Bruins waited on him. He wanted too much money. They brought in somebody else, right. And no, he wound up in Toronto for a year.
Yeah, I know he went to Toronto. I'm
Bertuzzi was like, "Oh, no one wants me for that amount of money," and they went back to the Bruins, and the Bruins were like, "Oh, you waited. We decided to go get somebody else to take your place."
Yeah.
So Bruins would go on to lose 5-2. David Pastrnak disappointed.
We weren't able to get the leading goal, but get the win, play right way, details, make sure the effort is there, and it has to be automatic, and obviously want to finish on the right note, and wanted to get those 2 wins at home here, and that was our mindset.
It's amazing. This team loses focus for and this is what happened early in the third period, for like a minute and a half, and the other team scores 3 times and the game's over.
They have one player that's playing currently, and McAvoy wisely is not going to be playing again this season. They announced, if you look at the standings, Philadelphia has got 2 games in hand. They got 4 games left. And they have equal amount of points. The Bruins have 2. They got 4 games left. The Bruins have 2 games left. Who you got to keep your eye on are the Kraken, who are only a point ahead of the Bruins. You need the Kraken have lost 2, according to this, what I'm looking at in a row. You need the Kraken to pick it up a little bit. And you need Boston to limp into the season as now. Look, they're at Pittsburgh, which is no guaranteed loss.
I know. That's what you're looking at. That's true.
Yeah, there's no guaranteed loss there, so that's unfortunate. But you need, despite John telling you to have your kick in, the New Jersey at home too is a very winnable game. So I mean, not an ideal schedule to finish things up here, but you lose when you can, and you do it that way. You try to lose, you try to lose as much as you can, and then you go about your business.
Red Sox at home yesterday, wrapping up a 4-game set with the Toronto Blue Jays, trying to avoid the 4-game sweep at Fenway Park. Scoreless going into the 6th inning until...
Get out into left center field. It will get down on command, and the run is in. 1-0 Boston. Alex Bregman with his 12th run batted in. It's about time.
Oh, it was, well, I didn't know you were on your schedule, but apparently they scored in time enough. We had extra innings, 2 nights ago, John?
Oh. Put a runner on second and let's get things cooking.
Yep. Free baseball, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, let's play 2.
So, yeah, well, how did we get there?
Driving that one in right center field, base hit. Sable rounding, he's going to score. And the Red Sox have quickly tied it.
Small ball. Woo.
Actually, that was I believe, the 10th inning single that made it 3-3. So, no, we had gotten there before that. So now we got to go to 11. Double free baseball.
Wait, they played 11 innings last night? No, they played 10 innings.
I thought they went to 11 last night. Oh,
Toronto scored in the top of the 10.
Right. That was top 10.
And that single was Duran tying the game.
I was watching the re-rack of the Masters.
I see.
I didn't get a chance to watch it.
John was glued into the radio broadcast of the Bruins.
He was watching both.
Yeah, he was watching, and then he was listening to both at the same time. He had a transistor radio in one hand.
Radio.
And in his car, and then on the Red Sox, and then he had the radio call of the Bruins on in the car.
Transistor radio.
He was listening to both at the same time while he built his nest. You stupid bird. Go ahead.
So we're still bottom. We're still bottom 10 after that Duran RBI single ties it at 3.
Little dribbler on the infield, and then there's a bobble, and the Sox.
It's bobblehead night for the jerk-off at third. Walk it off on E4.
Who got the Gatorade bath last night? Trevor's story. Let's listen in, because these are always fun.
For you guys to grind this out, get the bases loaded. Oh, yeah, they got him. Oh, my.
Excuse me.
That's exactly the noise my son makes when he goes down water slides, and it never is delights me.
For you guys to grind this out, get the bases.
My son goes down these water slides. He'll go in front of me.
Bases loaded.
I can't.
The bases loaded. Oh, yeah, they got him. Oh, my God. Did they miss? Yeah, they missed. Eyes on the back of his head.
Thankfully, they missed in this weather.
Yeah, for real. The bases loaded.
Congratulations. You avoided the sweep.
Good for you, Trevor.
That's great.
7-7. Start the season.
Whew.
Indeed.
Where are they off to today, John? They
Chicago White Sox for 3.
All right, very good.
Yeah, so that should be, they should sweep that series.
Yeah, you got Crochet, I think, Sunday, so they should win at least 1, if not 2.
Against the White Sox?
Yeah.
They should win. They should beat the White Sox. They should sweep the White Sox.
I hope so.
Well, I mean, the White Sox, you know how bad they were last year? They could be worse. Well, they on paper are worse this year.
Yeah, they're 2-10 to start, but with this team, at least this early in the season, they're just not scoring runs.
I mean, they're playing I wouldn't even say a AAA team in Chicago. Chicago, before, it's funny, like when people are breaking down the season, Chicago has one tradable asset, like, and you think about it and you go, like, you go, how is that possible? Like, at the trade deadline, they got to be active because they'll be out of it. Their center fielder is the only guy they could possibly trade that has any value on their major league roster.
I'm looking at their last game in the lineup. I recognize one guy, maybe two. Wow, that's bad. That's really bad.
Yes.
I recognize their first baseman, and that's it. I don't even recognize the center fielder.
I don't know who played last night in center field.
Michael Taylor.
Yeah, that's not the Robert Jr. is the guy I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, Robert. No, he didn't play last night.
Yeah, because he's considered the only tradable asset on that team.
I think Benintendi was there at the end of last year. I don't know if he's still there.
No, he's not. And the thing, but when I say that they are bad, like did they have the worst record ever in baseball last year?
No, I think they won a couple at the end to avoid that. Let me make sure. But yeah,
I think they might have had the worst record in baseball history last year. Well, anyway, it should be on paper worse this year. When I say they're playing a AAA team, that might be saying too much. They're playing because at least AAA would conceivably have like talent. They're certainly not playing a AA team.
So it is regarded as the worst season in MLB history. They started 3-22. It was the worst start in franchise history. Franchise record for most consecutive losses at 14. But they finished 41-121.
The Mets in 62 won 40 games.
Okay,
but they were 40-120. So
right.
You got to go back to 1899 for a team to be worse. That went like 20-134.
Okay,
the Cleveland Spiders.
So they won 40 games last year. Is what we're saying. 41 games. 41 games.
Yep.
Yeah, they should win less than that this year.
That'd be something.
Well, if you're in the AL Central, you're like, thank you.
Well, no, of course. What I'm saying.
That's why the Tigers made the playoffs. They finished. If you recall, the Tigers were historically out of the playoff race, and then in the last month of the season, they went on a roll. It's because they played the White Sox a bunch of times. Like they just kept beating the White Sox. And by that time, and the White Sox at that time were really trying because none of them wanted to be the guys on the team that lost the most amount of games or, had the worst record in baseball history. And that's how they made the playoffs. So they should be sweeping the White Sox. That shouldn't be a conversation. That should be something that is easily done. There you go. All right, Matt, go ahead.
So two things. Well, first off, I moved to New Jersey not too long ago, so I'm like, let me go to the Bruins game. Tickets for $5, right? And I was wondering before I got there, like, am I going to be cheering for not a loss, but would I be disappointed? In no way when I was there or were other fans there cheering for a loss. It's just really hard to do, It's just not in our nature, I guess.
While you're there, yeah, I guess, but, and I understand even in football because there's so few games and when the season is winding down, it's still hard. What John is referring to is the Trevor Lawrence game when the Jets came back in week 16 at the time and to win a game. And I found myself being excited at that, even though it cost them the number one pick in the draft. It's very similar, I guess, to what happened to the Patriots this year. Even though the prize was Trevor Lawrence and they needed a quarterback, maybe it's better they didn't get that. But all things told, maybe it worked out. I mean, look, they haven't made the playoffs, but
6 and 1, half dozen of the other.
They're not roped into him. Perhaps Justin Fields will find his footing, and here we go. But with something that a long grind of a season, I have no problem. No problem. I'm not going to watch them, and then or listen to them, as I said. So if I am, it's very much easier for me to root for a loss. If I was at the game, and you're at a Bruins game at the Garden, yeah, I mean, want to have a good time and see things happening. I could see that, but just from a distance, no. I want them losing. Yeah. I want to see what happens when they get a high pick. Now, will they screw it up? Most likely.
I was just going to say, who's the guy making the pick?
Right, exactly.
He
But
does not have a great history of drafting.
But they haven't had one of these since I've lived here.
Yeah.
Maybe the first year I lived here. But other than that, they really haven't had anything. All right. When we come back, we get to do Hardy's favorite thing in the world. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins lost to the Chicago Blackhawks 5-2 at TD Garden last night. They have 2 games left. They will visit Pittsburgh on Sunday. Also, Charlie McAvoy and Mark Kasterlik officially done for the season. Celtics had last night off. They play Charlotte at TD Garden this evening. Jaylen Brown out of this one. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Red Sox beat Toronto 4-3 in 10 innings at Fenway Park. Trevor Story drove in the game-winning run. Red Sox visit the Chicago White Sox tonight. They have also reportedly signed former 2-time All-Star catcher Yasmani Grandal to a minor league contract. Patriots have announced Julian Edelman, Logan Mankins, and Adam Vinatieri are the 3 finalists for election into the team's Hall of Fame. Justin Rose is your leader after 1 round of the Masters. He's got a 3-shot lead at 7 under par. And BU beat Penn State last night 3-1 in the Frozen Four in St. Louis. They'll play Western Michigan tomorrow night for college hockey's national championship. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Freedom Boat Club. Don't buy a boat this summer. Join Freedom Boat Club. Enjoy unlimited usage of boats at 21 prime locations from the North Shore to P-Town. Go to freedomboatclub.com today. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7 o'clock.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports Hub.
Hello, everyone. We're Toucher and Hardy. And John, if you would like, if you'd have some light reading you'd like to do right now, or there's a couple SNL sketches you'd like to watch, you can do the same as I, because it's this point of the show that we hand it off over to Amen Corner, where Rob Hardy Poole is here with your Masters update. Rob, take us to the beautiful green grass of Augusta, Georgia.
I appreciate that, Fred, but I'm not just at Amen Corner. I'm all over
All
this.
right, this is very McCord of you. You're fired. You can't never go to the Masters again.
I'm all over this frickin' golf course. You can't keep me at Amen Corner. You can't even get close to the 13th tee box over there. I need to be close to the action, kid. Come on, get me in there. All right, Masters started yesterday. First story of the day, Freddie Couples, 65 years old, making his 40th Masters appearance. Fred Couples, beloved. I love Freddie Boom Boom. You love Freddie Boom Boom. Everybody knows and loves Freddie Couples. If you follow golf at all, you know. How many majors has Fred Couples won? Take a guess.
11.
John?
2.
1.
Jim. Yeah. By the way, he was Jim Nance's at University of Houston. Yeah. He was Jim Nance's roommate. Did you see Jim Nance come out at the NCAA tournament?
Oh yeah,
he came out with you saw him. You saw this?
Oh, I saw him at the NCAA tournament.
He came out with his he's got like a 6-year-old kid or something, because he's on whatever marriage.
Jeez.
And he got I can't stand him. The kid's walking in, and Jim stops him and starts. Jim Nance stops him and starts combing the kid's hair, and the kid looks at him with such disgust and hatred. Stop it! He's come on, boy. Get it together. You're representing the Nance family, and the kid just looks at him with disgust.
A little Doris Burke in your Jim Nance there.
It's fine.
You're representing the Nance family.
That's fine.
Now keep an effing smile on your face and get that hair together. You will represent us, boy.
I think that's really funny. He's 65 years old and has a kid that young.
Yeah, and the good thing is he'll be there for all the things. He'll be there for his marriage and everything else. It will be so wonderful.
Yeah. Well, Couples, of course, fan favorite. First hole, he chips in for birdie, and the place becomes unglued. Mm-hmm. And he turns around, and it really is kind of a funny moment. He's laughing. There's some other old fat guy who's standing there talking to him, and he's talking to people, 5 feet away from him. He's like, "Can you believe that?" He goes, "I can't believe it." It's like, "Isn't this fun?" He plays with a yellow ball. I mean, Fred Couples is an old golfer at this point.
F you, Ed. Fred Couples. Jesus, chipping in for birdie at 65. Give me a break.
Chipping in for birdie, which is nothing compared to what he did on the 14th hole, par 4, second shot.
Go. Get up. Go. Go. Go.
An eagle on 14 from 191 yards with some type of hybrid fairway metal. There was a clip online a few months ago. I think it was Tiger going through his bag because they're kind of friendly. And Tiger is laughing. He goes, "What are all these head covers?" He goes, "Well, that's my driver. That's my 3-wood. That's my 5-wood. That's my 7-wood. That's my 9-wood. That's my 3 hybrid. That's my 5 hybrid. That's my
iron.
6 hybrid."
No iron.
His first iron is an 8. He's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I can't hit that other stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I hit fairway woods and hybrids." But he is 1 under par, setting records for, the most consecutive appearances and under pars and all this stuff. He'll turn to porridge by, probably back 9 today. But it's great. It's fun. It's fun to watch. The real story of the day yesterday was Justin Rose. And again, not a young guy. 44 years old, Justin Rose.
Now back at 13, Rose for the par. He rolls it in. So perhaps the tee shot cost him a bit. In any case, it's a par for Justin Rose. He remains our leader by 2.
A 2-stroke lead for Justin Rose. Would he actually add to that lead?
Birdie putt from 6 feet through his own shadow. Should move down toward the pond in front of this green. He starts it left. It breaks right into the center. And that is workmanlike for Justin Rose. He has got a feel for Augusta National, at least on Thursday. He's up to 7 under now, and he leads by 3.
He actually got it to 8. He had birdies at 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 15, 16. The lone bogey of the day came on 18. He finished the first round at 7 under par. So that puts him 3 strokes clear of Canadian Corey Connors, Scotty Scheffler, who had a bogey-free 68, and Ludwig Oberg, also at 4 under par.
All right. There's someone who wants to talk to you. Kenny, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Hi?
Hey.
Hey, is it me or is it all these live guys? I mean, they just don't cut it anymore. It's like they don't even, like, it doesn't seem like they even practice anymore. Like, and they wear those stupid shirts, you know, supporting the live crap. You know what I mean?
Well, I think they're doing okay. Brooks Koepka won a major. Bryson DeChambeau is still out there playing. Look, what you said is what I thought was going to happen, because they're only going to play 3-round tournaments, and they weren't going to have, you know, a huge field to compete against every week, and they wouldn't be as good if and when they got back to the majors. But
they just got the money and they got fat and lazy.
But not all of them. I mean, there's a few of them that are out there still competing and playing very well, and I think Bryson and Brooks are the best examples of it. I don't like those logos either.
I know those two, but like, you know, Sergio, Rahm, you know, like those guys. It just seems like every time they play in these major tournaments now, they just don't even make the cut. You know what I mean?
Rahm has played okay. He wasn't great yesterday. I forget where he finished at. He was
at 4 over on the back 9.
Yeah,
DeChambeau's 3 under.
Yeah, I know. Like, there's only a couple. DeChambeau, he's a machine. You know, that guy's just, you know, he's a
machine.
Did you see Sergio's outfit yesterday?
Oh no, God.
He looked like it was like I want to say a red shirt and yellow pants.
Yeah,
maybe I haven't flip-flopped. He looked like he was working at Hot Dog on a Stick.
Yeah,
making lemonade. In the
bright
mall.
red, bright yellow.
Oh, but I did see the guy with the Arizona State hat on, with that head of the Arizona State upside down, in that it drove the audience crazy. There were all like hundreds of people complaining at the audacity of the man wearing a Arizona State with the script of the Arizona State upside down. They're saying, this is, what the hell do you think you're doing, Abby Hoffman?
That's not even the best story about that guy. So this is, I believe you're talking about Jose Luis Ballester. He was playing. He got to the 12th hole, the short par 3, and he really had to pee. And he's not, you know, a member at Augusta. He hasn't played there a lot.
Yeah.
Didn't know where the restrooms were.
Sure.
Or forgot that they were actually to the left of the next hole's tee box. So he's got some time to kill. Justin Thomas was fiddle-effing around. So here's his quote. I'm like, I really need to pee. Didn't really know where to go. And since Thomas had an issue on the green, I'm just going to sneak here in the river, and probably people would not see me that much. And then they clapped for me. So again, it's like probably the biggest collection of people there on, you know, watching those, you know, that little collection of holes there at Amen Corner. And he said, probably one of the claps that I really got today was really loud. So that was kind of funny.
Yay.
I know you'd like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to have some fun in the stack at the end of the show, you can try to find some of those. If you need something to do, find some of those complaints about that guy's script being backwards on his hat. They were furious with him. All right,
more mad about that than him peeing into Rays Creek in the middle of the Masters.
There you go. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
They'll try to keep the play alive. Falling down, he throws to the end zone. It's caught. Touchdown!
WBZ-FM at HD Boston. 98.5, the Sports Hub. A Beasley Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Chicago Blackhawks scored 3 goals in 93 seconds to snap a 1-1 third period tie. They went on to beat the Bruins 5-2 at TD Garden last night. Former Bruin Nick Foligno, 2 goals for the winners. Bruins have 2 games left. They visit Pittsburgh Sunday. Joe Sacco also confirmed yesterday Charlie McAvoy and Mark Kastelik are indeed done for the season. Celtics had last night off. They play Charlotte at TD Garden tonight. Jaylen Brown is out, but apparently everyone else is available. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. In baseball news, the Red Sox got a bases-loaded grounder to second by Trevor Story to score the winning run. They beat Toronto 4-3 in 10 innings at Fenway Park.
Trying to put the ball in play. I didn't really care what happened after that, you know. But I knew I cued the mess out of it, so that's not an easy play at all.
Sox are 7-7 after avoiding a 4-game sweep. They pitch Sean Newcomb in Chicago tonight against the White Sox. The Red Sox have also reportedly signed free agent catcher Yasmani Grandal to a minor league contract. Patriots have announced that Julian Edelman, Logan Mankins, and Adam Vinatieri are the 3 finalists for election to the team's Hall of Fame. Justin Rose fired a 7-under-65. He's got a 3-shot lead after 1 round of the Masters. And BU is headed to college hockey's national championship game. They beat Penn State last night 3-1. They'll play Western Michigan tomorrow evening. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Albrecht Auto Group, Zoe's Auto Dealer. Get respect at Albrecht. Now 8 locations, including the all-new Subaru of Wakefield. Thousands of new and pre-owned vehicles, all at the right price at albrechtauto.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com.
Oh boy. I guess it's time for more Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Toucher and Hardy. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, will you? 98.5 The Sports Hub. We're on live, and then it's available. There's clips of all the shows, even Alex Barth, who's going to be on the show next. He's got a bunch of football stuff up there. Everything is going on at 98.5 The Sports Hub's page. This is the last day of this, Hardy.
Sack.
Toucher and Hardy features Fred Toucher with Hardy and Wallach too. Adam 12 and Nick and Ryan. But the most important person is you. Sixth man.
The New Woke Order.
Sixth man.
I'm totally blind, by the way.
Sixth man.
A lot of people are going, ooh, oh.
Sixth man. 6
is a very seductive number.
Wow.
All right, coming up at 8 o'clock, we will be announcing the winner of this contest, and then it will be over. The winner gets nothing. The loser suffers nothing, really. What was interesting is the voting was up.
The winner gets nothing. The loser suffers nothing.
Yeah. So it's fairly meaningless, but what is interesting, but there are interesting things that come out of it. On Instagram is the place you vote. At Toucher and Hardy. And I was under the impression that the guy from Machine was completely indifferent to what was going on and was even almost unaware of what was going on.
Fred, hello!
But if you follow what was going on Instagram, there was a very big positive push by the guy from Machine thanking everyone who wrote in that they voted for him. Now, to counter that, Adolfo texted me, and he said he saw this, and so he decided to go heel on the people and insult them. So you had 2 different strategies. You had the guy from Machine, who I'm actually honored, took this seriously enough that he was thanking people for liking him. He was aware it was all going on. I just didn't think he cared at all.
Wave the flag, honey. The gay flag's out. Hello.
It's nice to know that he cares. And then you had Adolfo, who was also monitoring this situation.
Yes.
And decided to go very negative on the people.
Is that so?
He was like swearing at him and stuff. He didn't like it.
Yes.
Odd strategy.
Am I a bad boy?
It's bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. Goodness.
And it's funny because people are like, Adolfo's like a crazy far left guy, and I'm like, it's Adolfo.
Yeah.
What do you want Adolfo to do? I mean, please, it's Adolfo. He's not planning anything. It's Adolfo. He's
saying Bugs Bunny is a Republican. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Adolfo's the Batcave.
Leave Adolfo alone. All right. So here's the deal: the more I've thought about this contest, and John, I think you'd be on my side. It was completely unfair. It was really in the hands of Nick and Hardy, but the way that it happened is Hardy would play the guy from Machine humming a song, and then even though I got one of them right, it was only because I think I was the one who suggested it as a song.
Yes, that's right.
So that's the only reason I knew.
Yes.
But so we'll give you some examples of this. It's not a replay, but this was the contest. And if you didn't hear it yesterday, you play along and see how you do. Give us an example, Hardy.
All right. The guy from Machine just humming a song. You have to try and determine what song this is.
By the way, the guy
now,
from
you
Machine.
know the answer now, John. Do you know?
No, I still don't remember.
I still don't know the answer.
I forgot as well. I forgot. If I could just digress very quickly, and if you didn't see yesterday either, you missed that Nick had to, and so I'm giving Nick a lot of credit. He had to go to where the guy from Machine works. The guy from Machine was completely disingenuous. He couldn't spend any time with him. The place was packed. Then Nick had to drive out to the middle of nowhere where the guy from Machine strangely lives, even though Adam's got many theories as to why. The guy from Machine lives out in the middle of nowhere, so Nick had to drive over there, and he said, let's meet at a coffee shop. And they went to the coffee shop, and that place was packed. So Nick had him in his car.
Coffee cake time.
And then Nick was like, I'll tell you what, he could barely fit in my car. This guy's huge. And then we're like, what? And he's like, yeah, he's huge. And we're like, he's like 6 feet tall, Nick. What the hell's wrong? What are you driving?
We saw him. He came in here and sat down.
Well, he could barely fit on my moped.
Compared to Nick and his whole family of little people. Yeah.
Yeah. Nick, I'm just proof you can do it too, kid. I made your mother pregnant with you. You know how we did it?
Oh,
Sex!
Oh, no.
Your mother and I, Nicholas, to make you.
No.
We were having sex. I remember where and what positions.
So
that was before we were estranged.
Stop, I'm begging you.
No, I won't do that. Nick made a funny video about that, by the way, which is up at the Toucher and Hardy page.
Oh, I thought it was.
And at the estranged thing, yeah. He made a funny video of what happened on the show yesterday. It was good. And, all right, so go ahead.
Yeah, so
this is the thing.
Turned out to be...
The first song, it goes, hot-blooded, check it and see.
All right, so Nick would give him the lyrics, tell him the melody, because Guy from Machine did not know the song. But for someone who had never heard the song before, he did a pretty damn good rendition of it.
What's going on again? Well, I'm hot-blooded, guy from Machine. I'm the machine. Got a fever, 103. Boom, boom. Come on, baby, do the do. Many dance bears. I'm hot-blooded. Come see me. Damn, I got something in my throat, I think. From last night. You know what I mean.
Have you noticed that Guy from Machine not afraid of the double entendre or the suggestive commentary?
Well,
I think that's thematic when it comes to speaking with Guy from Machine.
Well, based on where he lives, it may be hay that was stuck in his throat because he lives in the middle of nowhere. He lives in farm country, which is still fascinating to me. again, it must be a 2-hour commute for him to get to that restaurant where he waits tables. And then, he's single. I don't know how he's out there. Like, I don't know what there is to do out there. Adam had many theories. Many theories.
And I'm fascinated by him.
So there was
well, so am I.
There's another song.
I don't believe your theories, though. I don't think they're true.
Well, we'll talk more.
That Nick told Guy from Machine he wanted him to do. This may have been the only song that Guy from Machine knew, but that didn't make it easy for any of us, or any of you, I should say, to guess what song this was.
I still don't remember.
I don't either.
You don't remember that?
No, the second time around, I still don't remember.
I don't remember this at all.
Well, on my way. I don't know where I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on my way. Taking my time. I don't know where.
Right.
The one thing I remember us being fascinated about is we're trying different musical genres, and the man is somewhat old. You got to figure what, he's 50? Whatever he is.
I think he's probably like 55.
Yeah, and he's missed everything. He didn't go one place or another. He missed all of it.
Well, wait a second,
in the
Nick.
last 35, 40 years.
Was this one? He didn't know this one either? He didn't know the Paul Simon song?
Sweet, sweet bird. Well, on my way. I don't know where I'm going. I'm on my way. Jerry. Taking my time. I don't know where. Goodbye to Rosie, the queen of Corona. Seeing me and Jolie down by the schoolyard. Hello. Seeing me and Hula down by the schoolyard. I'm a good singer. It's hard to do that. I like scruff.
Okay, thank you.
Happy for you.
The Queen of Corona. So obviously we did not get that right. Now this is the one I got right because it was a song I suggested.
Yes.
Da 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 da. Down, 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 down.
Yeah.
His rendition is not perfect, but there was enough in there, maybe just with the...
No, it was at the end when he made his... I knew it was a metal song because he got like all rough with his voice, and then it was the very end where he was... Because it's not the melody of the song at all. Guy from Machine has no idea. He's almost colorblind to melody, if there's the audio equivalent of being colorblind.
Do you remember what this
Tone
one
deaf.
was, John?
Yeah, Master of Puppets.
End of passion play, crumbling away. I'm the source of self-construction, self-destruction. Veins are pumped with fear, sucking all the clear. Oh, sucking dark is clear. Darkness is clear. Sucking darkness is clear.
Yeah.
Multiple takes. Multiple takes to end up with this.
End of passion play, crumbling away. I'm the source of self-destruction. I'm the machine. Veins are pumped with fear, sucking all the clear, leaving on your destruction. Action. Taste and you will see. More is all you need. Dedicated to I'm killing you. Double Humpty Dumpty Bear. Come crawling faster.
You look like he's on the floor like a dog.
Obey your masters.
Maybe he likes the floor.
My light burns faster.
Maybe be the big old bottom.
Obey your master. Master!
Hot daddy in a tight skirt.
That was from the era where James Hadfield had the sideburns attached to the mustache.
Oh,
that's when he would
yeah.
start going beep bop 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 boom during songs. Because he was making fun of Lars' drum playing there. That was from the documentary.
So you thought the final song was also a metal song based on
His gruffness.
the gruffness of it, but this was the one song that Guy from Machine had heard.
Okay, we'll hum the first two lines.
Okay.
again, nothing. You'll hear the song. That humming ain't the song.
Okay, we'll hum the first two lines. Okay.
Yeah, it's closer than the other three.
To what part of the song?
The first few notes. You got that right.
No, it's the hook. It's the chorus. Yeah.
First few notes you got right.
The chorus is.
That's what he just
That's what he did.
Okay, we'll hum the first two lines. Okay.
That's not how it goes.
Okay, well, the tempo's a little bit off.
The pause is off. It's not right. It's not right at all. And I'm not having this argument with you guys. Everyone's arguing with me about everything. It's not what it is. I have ears.
Okay, we'll hum the first two lines. Okay.
Nah.
You and Guy Machine are in sync. You guys sound like you're part of an a cappella group.
You're
when
letting
you
the
did that
growl
with them.
throw you off.
All right. Well, fine.
He did the mash. He did the mash. He did the monster mash. The monster mash. And go. Ow. Ow. Okay. Okay.
Nick, you're awesome. You really are.
Guy from Machine, he really brought it home with this one.
Machine.
Hippity hop.
He did the mash. He did the monster mash. The monster mash. And it was a great rock smash. He did the mash. Have you seen him? It got on in the flash. He did the mash. He did the monster mash. Dorothy, click your heels. Click. He's a wolf. He look like he's hungry. Okay. I'm sorry. He did the mash.
Baby. All right. So there you go. We will be right back. Alex Barth will join us. He has his new mock draft up over. He's got positional rankings. He's analyzed all the positions, player by player. He's got his mock drafts and everything else up at 985thesportshub.com. We will find out what he thinks will happen on the draft a week from next Thursday, when John will be in miserable in Paris with his kids who do not want to be there, and
the country of Luxembourg.
Well done.
which he'll enjoy.
Yes.
Because of
my sister is there.
Yeah.
Yes.
An interesting mock draft by Alex Barth, going against the grain. Alex Barth.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alex Barth is thinking as a Patriots fan when he does this mock draft.
No, stop.
I do a little bit.
Come on.
I do a little bit. All right, because it ends up working out just swimmingly for the Patriots.
I saw that too.
It's just like if everything in the world goes right.
Yeah,
and
the number one prospect just falls right into your lap.
The number one prospect at the position you need him at. That's exactly what happens by some miracle that everyone's saying isn't going to happen, but very good.
Hey,
we'll find out why. Who am I to say? He's the football expert. We'll be back in just a moment.
10 on the Sports Hub.
You said you wanted to hear more music in the morning.
Never had to knock on wood, but I never had it yet.
Oh, you said you didn't want to hear more music in the morning. Okay. Here's more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
The Patriots have a glaring need at left tackle right now that they really haven't addressed this offseason. But Abdul Carter is ridiculous. He's ridiculously special. 12 sacks last season. This guy's the best pure edge rusher in the class, and it's not close. This guy has the opportunity to become...
I'm looking at your mock draft here, and it's the reason I like it is it is now unlike any other mock draft that I've seen, and that's what you want. You want it to be. I often say this. You want it to be interesting. You want it to be a topic of conversation, and yours certainly is. So let's get cooking now. You, of course, have the only certainty in the draft is that Cam Ward is going number 1. You have Titans keeping that pick. Now is when things get interesting. It has been widely reported that the Browns, in fact, Kevin Stefanski was at Jackson Dart's Pro Day while his team was at the Colorado with Jimmy Haslam was at with Abdul Carter at that time, having dinner with Abdul Carter in Penn at Penn State.
Yeah,
and so that to a lot of people meant that they had no interest in Shedeur Sanders. They have made, of course, the 2 signings with Winston and Russell, but you have the Browns taking Shedeur Sanders at number 2.
Yeah, so I did this last week coming away from the Colorado Pro Day, and my thought at the time, and I write a little bit more about it in there, was the contingency that they sent to Colorado, to me, as good as Travis Hunter is, he's a really good player, is the owner traveling for a wide receiver. Now, I know he, since I wrote this, met with Abdul Carter, but it was a lot more reminiscent of, and Robert Kraft didn't go, but it was a lot more reminiscent of the group the Patriots sent to LSU and UNC and some of these other top quarterbacks last year than really anything else we've seen. Now, maybe the Browns think they can get Shedeur somewhere else. The GM of the Browns was quoted as saying, can I have them both? Talking about Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. And maybe they think Sanders is going to fall and they can trade up into the teens and get him, something like that. But the idea was, as good as Travis Hunter is, the contingency they sent to Colorado, I don't think you send that contingency for a wide receiver or a cornerback. You send that contingency if you're thinking about drafting the quarterback. Now, maybe they went and they all met with him and they said, well, this isn't our guy. And that's why you get some of the reporting you've had since. But I think they're at least seriously considering Sanders if they're going to send that whole group out there to Boulder.
Okay, since you said you did this a week ago, do you still think that Shedeur Sanders is going number 2?
I think it's less likely that I did when I put that together, but I think people are, to entirely rule it out, as short-sighted.
And none of this has to do with the fact that you really want them to take Shedeur Sanders?
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Okay.
Well, Barth, I would say this. If they don't take Shedeur Sanders, what would be their plan in Cleveland? This is what I've thought about this, and maybe a non-Patriots way of thinking about it. But from a Browns perspective, what do they do?
So I wonder if they really like Jalen Milroe. And Jalen Milroe started to pick up some steam here the last few days. Tommy Rees, who they promoted him from within, but he's their new offensive coordinator. He was Milroe's OC at Alabama in 2023 when Milroe had his best year. So they have that connection. I wonder if they look at getting Milroe in the second round.
Okay.
I'm also not ruling out, and again, the GM kind of joked about it, but this is the time of year where we dissect every little thing that's said. They take Hunter at 2. Let's say Sanders really falls, right? The Saints don't take him at 9. If they don't take him at 9, there's no quarterback team really, unless you believe some Miami Dolphins stuff, until the Steelers at 21. Can the Browns move up from 34 to like 17 or 18 and get Sanders? And now you have the 2 Colorado guys?
All right, so
what about that?
Yeah, with the kid from Alabama, now people are saying this. They're saying Jalen Hurts was undeveloped in terms of his decision making. Josh Allen was undeveloped in terms of his decision making. That Teddy Bridgewater was undeveloped in terms of his decision making when they came out. They were just, especially in the latter 2, just freak athletes.
Yeah.
which Monroe obviously is. So now people are starting to talk themselves into him being a possible second round, maybe high second round pick. Who knows, But you don't think do you think there's any way Jackson Dart is taken ahead of Shedeur Sanders?
I'd be surprised. I don't even think Jackson Dart's the third best quarterback in this draft. To me, it's between Milroe and Will Howard.
Yeah.
I'm not super impressed by Jackson Dart.
Now, who did you think was the best quarterback in the last draft?
Caleb Williams.
And then who?
I had Caleb Williams, Daniels, May, Penix, McCarthy, Nix.
Okay.
Was my order.
All right. And then you have the Giants taking Travis Hunter. Obviously, that's if they had their choice of Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, you figured they would take Travis Hunter because they're already pretty loaded at the end position. Exactly. And then you have Abdul Carter falling to the Patriots, which would be the dream scenario for the Patriots. This would be as good as the draft could land for them, correct?
Well, internally, you hear some reporting that maybe he's not their type of guy as much, but in terms of picking at 4 and having the best player there, I think that's how it would have to happen. I think those 3 picks at the top would have to go the way they go, because I think if the Browns are not taking I think that's how those picks have to go at the top. So this is the only way I think they get the best player in the draft.
Do you still think that they'll get Abdul Carter at 4? Not that if he's available they'll take him, because they will. And the Giants would not. I think with Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter on the board, they would definitely take Travis Hunter. And we had Burden. He was talking about Abdul Carter being like his own guy and kind of like a different dude and everything else.
And Giants just spent all of that for pass rushers.
No. But that's I had moved on to the Patriots, not like wanting that kind of guy. But So this is the dream scenario. This is what the Patriots would want to have happen. And
because at the very least, if they don't like Carter, most talented player falls to 4, you now have a lot better chance of trading down, even if you don't love him. At the very least, now you're actually going to get something for that pick.
Mm-hmm. And you have Jacksonville being able to make a trade with the Cowboys for Genty out of Boise State, the incredible running back. So you do have a trade going up into the first round.
Yeah, and that's a little different because those top 4 are all gone. So now it's all players on different standings. So the trades are going to cost a little less. I also couldn't you see the Jaguars the Cowboys giving up too much to draft Aston Genty?
I've seen them do
it.
Jerry
Jones thing to do.
Yeah, I mean they were the beneficiary of someone giving up their whole draft, or not their whole draft with the Herschel Walker trade.
Yeah, it was like the whole draft.
Yeah, it was like a whole draft. They had been the beneficiary of it, so why not do it themselves? Because a lot of people think Genty is that you could add him as an elite talent in this draft. Like that, there's 3. It's just that Genty plays running back. That is not considered anymore to be a premier position. There are people that think Genty is like. The comps on him are all pro running backs. I mean, like he is obviously, you would agree, skilled enough. He has the tape, the size, the speed, all of that, the cutting ability, all of that to be an elite NFL running back, correct?
Yeah, the only concern really with Genty is he had 750 touches over the last 3 years in college. That would rank 5th in the NFL during that span. Like he's run the ball a lot. He's been hit a lot. There's a lot of mileage there. That's
Le'Veon
really
Bell, though. I've never seen anyone touch a football more than Le'Veon Bell when he was at Michigan State. And they eked out some good years out of him in Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, seriously, what? He was averaging like 30 carries a game in his senior year.
Yeah, like nuts. John didn't know about it, as well. So John actually, during a show one time, looked up how much Le'Veon Bell carried the ball.
I was amazed.
And he was like, Jesus Christ, did that guy carry the ball. All right. So you have Ted McMillan going to the Raiders, and then we'll start just getting to like the more interesting stuff. Sure. Ted McMillan going to the Raiders. He is a very polarizing player. People think he's a little laissez-faire. People think he's slow. What do you like about Ted McMillan? What don't you like?
So just about him as a player in the draft, the way I do this is I run through it a couple times and try different things and see what picks I like. And when I didn't have Ted McMillan going here, he was falling into the teens.
Mm-hmm.
I think for the Raiders in particular, he's a good fit for the way Geno Smith plays. He's got a big catch radius. He can make plays over the middle of the field. Like stylistically, that's a fit. I love the ball skills. The guy, even if he doesn't separate, is always sort of open. At least that was the case in college. He's a guy you can throw open relatively easily. He's an interesting player because in the modern NFL, the wide receiver position is all about athleticism. Teams would rather take a great athlete and teach him how to play receiver rather than take a guy that's incredibly technically skilled and just make do with what he is. And so McMillan's the antithesis of everything teams want at the wide receiver position right now. It doesn't mean he's bad, but it's a real zag while everybody zigs, right? So he's a fascinating player to me. But I think for how developed he is at this point at his age, especially in this draft, he should probably go higher than he's projected right now because he is more, I think, NFL ready than a lot of guys in this draft.
And then you have Will Campbell being the second offensive lineman taken. You have him going 9 to the Dolphins trading up to get him at 9. Is that based on your read on the offensive line? Do you think he's the second best offensive lineman? Do you think he can play left tackle? What is your read on Will Campbell, who could very well be the Patriots' pick?
Yeah, I think he's the best pure lineman. I think he can play left tackle. The reason I have him going second, I'm giving the Jets credit here. They need a right tackle, flat out. Like, they're good on the left side. They took a guy last year. They need a right tackle. Armand Membu is a true right tackle. That just makes more sense. Maybe I'm giving the Jets too much credit, but I still think Campbell's the best lineman in the draft.
Yeah,
I almost had them taking Campbell and moving him because that doesn't make a lot of sense, and it's the Jets.
Yeah, well, listen, that certainly plays out. You could make that argument happening.
I mean, it only takes a few spots to, and again, this is just a theory, though, but to really flip the script on Will Campbell from not really being worth it at 4 to a team willing to trade up to 9 in order to get him. I don't know if I fully buy that, Barth, but it does. So go ahead.
Some of this is like, some of the way I do this is reacting to news, and this was right after Teron Armstead officially retired. So the idea, like, I think the Dolphins now, if you look at who they have left on the offensive line, because they lost some free agents, Teron Armstead retired, they're pretty barren there. And there's a bunch of tackle teams right before them. The Niners look like a tackle team. The Bears could be. So the idea is, I think the tackles kind of fell as a whole the way I did it, but it's the Dolphins getting above some of those other teams that might need a tackle because they desperately need offensive line play.
And it does make sense, as you point out, that for a lefty quarterback, having someone who you have questions about at left tackle, all right, you don't have to worry as much as they would in Miami.
All right.
Unless, of course, what's his name? Forget the Dolphins quarterback. Tua. He gets concussed in week 2, and then he's not playing.
They're playing with fire there. Yeah. All right, listen. Alex Barth has got a whole bunch of draft coverage up there. He has it all up at 985thesportshub.com. Alex, thank you so much for the time, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks.
All right, we appreciate it. When I asked him where he had the quarterbacks, do you think he was saying that's how he had him ranked in terms of how much he liked them, or how he had them going? Because I remember him being very high on Michael Penix, and him and Felger going back and forth like about how lovely and wonderful Michael Penix was.
I don't remember.
And I thought that did happen.
Okay,
that was going on, but I might be remembering this wrong, but I remember. There being a lot of noise about how Penix is a better quarterback prospect than May. I seem to remember that. Maybe it wasn't coming from Alex Barr's side. I know the afternoon show was big on that.
I remember Zolak being very big on Penix.
And then Felger was very big on Penix because he had seen that game. So, it's what happened.
He watched a game. And
he watched at the semifinal, and he played really well in it. And so I do recall a lot of pro-Penix talk. And certainly in some instances, maybe not with Barth, instead of taking May, they should have taken Penix. That was a conversation on this radio station. And who knows? Maybe Penix will be the better quarterback. Probably not. But who knows? Look, there was a real extravaganza going on in Pittsburgh the other night. And thank you for a listener for even letting us know this happened. And Bert was very frustrated because he was forced to watch 20 minutes of it because he thought something was going to happen that didn't. And we'll get into it in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins lost at home to Chicago 5-2 at TD Garden. Blackhawks scored 4 goals in the third period for the win. Bruins have one more road game left. They're in Pittsburgh on Sunday. Joe Sacco also confirmed yesterday Charlie McAvoy and Mark Kastelik both done for the season. Celtics have 2 games left in their season. They're both against Charlotte. The first one is tonight at TD Garden. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Red Sox got 2 in the bottom of the 10th inning. They beat Toronto 4-3 to avoid a 4-game sweep. They will visit the Chicago White Sox tonight. Patriots have announced that Julian Edelman, Logan Mankins, and Adam Vinatieri are the 3 finalists for election into the team's Hall of Fame. And Justin Rose has the lead by 3 shots at 7 under par after 1 round of the Masters. Round 2 set to get underway momentarily. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Dr. Matthew Lopresti and Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, the hair doctor of Hardy, Charlie McAvoy, and Tuukka Rask. Call 1-800-GET-HAIR for your free consultation. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8 o'clock.
More Toucher and Hardy on the way on the Sports Hub.
And so we had this thing in Pittsburgh, in an arena, which is impressive. A bunch of people were there. I won't blow one of them, but Wiz Khalifa and Snoop Dogg. He somehow got Snoop Dogg to come out. Can you imagine?
How do you get Snoop Dogg to participate in your things?
It's like getting Dylan to come out. Like it's like wow, that's crazy. He had sumo wrestling. I read something in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Sidney Crosby was there. Ben Roethlisberger was there. Skeens was there. He gave away $2 million. McAfee's big on paying for stuff. Like his big thing is like paying for stuff, like giving people millions of dollars in order. But the gamble on Aaron Rodgers was certainly worth it. But the big thing about having it in Pittsburgh, and the reason why Bert had to watch it for 20 minutes before he got fed up and said it's not worth it, was the idea that at some point. Remember I told you that he was watching it because at some point the belief was Aaron Rodgers was going to come out waving a terrible towel and announce that he was coming to the Steelers. Well, I read something in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette that had a reporter there, and after about an hour, large chunks of the crowd were leaving because they came to realize that Aaron Rodgers was not coming out. So I don't know how expensive it was to go there. But there you have it. So we've talked about how Pat McAfee, there's some weird stuff on Twitter where it's these SEC school kids and they gossip about girls and stuff. McAfee's 37 years old. He makes tens of millions of dollars, if not more, a year. It's really odd, but they referenced something that they had been talking about on this Twitter about some random 18-year-old girl from Ole Miss, and she's not dating anyone of note either, and that a girl from Ole Miss who's 18, a freshman, had sex with her boyfriend's father. Now, the problem with this is that there's pictures of this girl up, and then this girl's name gets out there, and Pat McAfee is talking about it, and he's being threatened to be sued. Now, I have been sued by other radio personalities, and you guys have all been at least tangentially involved in trouble. Now, when lawyers are involved, the one thing they'll tell you, and John, you've been in a divorce, so you know when lawyers are involved, don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. And if you're out in the lawsuit is, I didn't mention her by name. Do you do this at your big arena show?
You go from political cancellation to the old school one. Lawsuits. And I'll tell you what, I'll never.
By the way, listen to that crowd, that arena crowd, hanging on his every word.
Hey, you can hear a pin drop, Fred.
I mean, they are, that's the way to look at it.
First
too.
of all,
you can hear a pin drop.
And this does sound like a good time. I feel the need to apologize for saying that going to this would suck. This sounds like a party.
Yeah, this sounds good. An airing of grievances at the beginning of the arena show.
A legal dancing around the edges, not really getting specific TED Talk on his latest lawsuit.
I mean, this guy is just such a non-talented piece of ass. I mean, I wish I could swear, because that would be the time I want to say the S word. I mean, he's just not entertaining.
You go from political cancellation to the old school one.
Political cancellation, you a-hole. Make up your mind. You want to, and by the way, at the end here, he goes, he doesn't want to hurt anyone. Do you want to have fun? Is the woke mob after you, you stupid Disney-employed son of a bitch? Don't act like you're alternative media, jackass. You work for Disney. You're the most corporate suit working for man in the show business. Get out of here. Get out of here. Talking about sports. Oh, everyone's trying to cancel Pat McAfee. They let you do whatever you want, stupid. No, you're not. Oh, sorry that the 18-year-old girl story got you in some hot water. Whoa, that's that woke mob thing that's going on. What the hell are you talking about? It's not like gay rights groups are coming after you or something. It's a girl at you Mississippi, just creepy you knew about it, you idiot.
You go from political cancellation to the old school one. Lawsuits. And I'll tell you what, I'll never forget my first. He's good. He's good. We're good. We're good. We did a whole thing. We're good. We all have heard Brett over the last few years. Brett has no idea he sued me. Okay? He has no idea. The gunslinger lived his life how he lived his life. I think some people told him, hey, here's the thing you should do. And Brett was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. And then went back hunting. I'm cool with Brett. Just like the current situation that is happening.
Now he's referring, apparently Brett Favre sued him. But now to the delight of the crowd who are, again, really amped up. This is the beginning of the show, by the way. This is the beginning. So I wonder why people left. So this moron is, if he was to potentially get sued, it's because he brought up someone with no notoriety who's 18 and alleged something happened that didn't happen on his Disney-owned show that conceivably goes out to a lot of people. At least the opportunity is there for people if they want to consume it. So what does he do? First of all, he's walking around bitching about it. Like he's, again, a victim. First of all, you haven't even been sued yet. And second of all, dumbass, if you're getting sued for bringing attention to it, why would you double down on it? You're not even proving a point. You're not even, you're just an idiot.
The current situation that is happening, where I have a lot of people saying that I should be sued, I want to say this. I never, ever want to be a part of anything negative in anybody's life. Ever. That is not what I want to do. And for all of these events, you're f***ing know it that my lawyers are Pittsburgh lawyers, and they're in here tonight. I do believe they have a suite here that I have certainly contributed to. Certainly. But they have the same mindset as me. Empathy, but understanding reality.
Yeah, so he's going, hey, 18-year-old girl, I got a big team of lawyers that I've...
Pittsburgh lawyers.
Yeah, and then, that's going to get the crowd going. Oh, Pittsburgh, yay, lawyers. We all love lawyers so much. Half the people there are divorced. I love them. Way, lawyers. We're all lawyers.
Really playing to your base with a statement like that.
Yeah, I know you kids in Pittsburgh love the law. So he's going woe is me, poor me. This 18-year-old chick is threatening to sue me, but I got all these lawyers, lady, and don't think that we're not going to come back after you. Instead of just shutting up and having it go away. He's got it. What is he, mining for sympathy? I mean, just shut up. The only thing that you're being accused of is bringing attention to a false rumor. If you stop talking about it, then you could say it was a one-off thing. Now, if I'm her lawyers and I'm her, I'm like, here we go. And I'm playing that. His lawyers must have been losing their effing minds. And this is his comedy monologue? Not even turning it into something funny, just going just going Brett Favre likes me. Brett Favre likes me, but he sued me. And this current thing, I got good Pittsburgh lawyers. Congratulations. What a show. Idiot. And then he brings out Jelly Roll.
What stadium? What stadium did he do this in?
Whatever the Penguins playing.
Oh, okay.
All right. So there you go. All right. When we come back, our sixth-man contest comes to an end, and we announce the winner.
WBZFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
It was the revenge of the ex-Bruins last night at TD Garden.
Here's Foligno with some space up the right wing side, moving in, circle, shoots, and scores. And the former Bruin and now Blackhawks captain Nick Foligno ties the game at 1.
That is Ryan Johnston here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Nick Foligno had a pair of goals, and Chicago scored a 5-2 win. Ryan Donato and Tyler Bertuzzi added a goal apiece as well. David Pastrnak a goal and an assist for the Bruins, and the Bruins will play their final road game on Sunday in Pittsburgh. Joe Sacco also confirmed yesterday Charlie McAvoy and Mark Kastelik are done for the season. Celtics had last night off. They play Charlotte at TD Garden tonight. Jaylen Brown is out. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Red Sox got a bases-loaded grounder to second by Trevor Story to score the winning run. They beat Toronto in 10 innings, 4-3 at Fenway Park. Sox are 7-7. Sean Newcomb pitches in Chicago tonight against the White Sox. Red Sox have also reportedly signed former two-time All-Star catcher Yasmani Grandal to a minor league contract. Patriots have announced Julian Edelman, Logan Mankins, and Adam Vinatieri are the 3 finalists for election into the team's Hall of Fame. Round 2 of the Masters underway this morning. Justin Rose has a 3-shot lead at 7 under par, and BU beat Penn State last night 3-1 in the Frozen Four. They'll play Western Michigan tomorrow night for college hockey's national championship. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by 128 Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, the company that finishes every job strong. If your home or business has a plumbing, HVAC, electrical, or drain issue that can't wait, you need to call 128 now at 888-CALL-128. I'm John Wallach of Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Here we go. Boom. I win. Boom. Yeah. Hit somebody.
We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
And now, back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub. A listener had a great line, so I just got to go back for a second on the Pat McAfee thing. So Pat McAfee said during his Pittsburgh show, he's like, I got attorneys and they're from Pittsburgh, and John got a tweet from someone who said, this is what it probably sounded like. You people from Pittsburgh certainly know how to litigate. Coming in here, it was hot. It was hot, babe. Yeah. It was hotter than a courtroom in July. I was out chasing ambulance sires. Ugh, what a bore. What a bore. All right, here we go. So, and for the final time, you'll be hearing this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sack. Toucher and Hardy features Fred Toucher with Hardy and Wallach too. Adam 12 and Nick and Ryan. But the most important person is you. Sixth man.
The New Woke Order.
Sixth man.
I'm totally blind, by the way.
Sixth man.
A lot of people are going, ooh, oh.
Sixth man. Yeah?
6 is a very seductive number.
Wow. All right, over the last few weeks, we've had 8 people. Sarah from Everett, Blind Scott, AI Sarge, Robbie Roadsteamer, Guy from Machine, Adolfo and Al Cole, and Bird. All participating, and thank you to all of them for taking the time to do so.
Oppenheimer.
But that's him trying to say Oppenheimer.
Do you know who I am?
And here's what ended up happening, is that the finals ultimately were our old friend Adolfo Gonzalez against Guy from Machine. Adolfo Gonzalez did a What's in Your Stack from 7 years ago, but that's fine. It was his.
Crazy.
And Guy from Machine did a karaoke contest, as he loves karaoke. And
Dennis.
As always, the voting went down on the Toucher and Hardy page on Instagram. And ladies and gentlemen, the results are in.
The finals between Guy from Machine and Adolfo. We have our winner. with the actual tabulations and the margins, Adam 12?
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 2025 Toucher and Hardy sixth man bracket is Guy from Machine.
All right.
2-1 margin.
2-1 margin.
Yeah, we knew Guy from Machine was going to win this from the very beginning. Guy from Machine is unparalleled popularity. No one dislikes the Guy from Machine. In a world of incredibly negative comments, he gets none. It's truly an outlier. And what does the Guy from Machine get for winning this? Nothing. What is the consequence of those who participated but did not win? The answer to that is nothing.
And who were the real winners, Fred? All of us.
All right, so here is, in honor of no one winning anything and there really being no stakes or point to this whole exercise, here is why all this was indeed one shining moment.
The Toucher and Hardy show.
Oh, I love this.
I'm just really uncomfortable.
Get her out of there! No, Nick! 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 In one shining moment, God, are you so slow?
It'd be nice to have, like, a friend.
It's AI, baby. One shining moment.
With your drinking at noon on Mondays.
Oh, he's like a soccer mom.
Anyways.
I love you.
And, of course, we learned that the Guy from Machine at 5'11", 6 feet tall could not fit in Nick's car because to Nick, if you're 5'11", you might as well be 7 feet tall.
Nick was just, I mean, completely thrown off by the size of this gentleman and how he felt so dwarfed by him in his presence. And then we went back and looked at the photo that we took when Guy from Machine was in here last. And, yeah, he's tall, but he's not a giant.
No. He's not any taller than I am, and I certainly have never had trouble fitting in an automobile of any size.
Have you ever ridden with Nick?
I've had to have been in a car with Nick. Yeah. No, one time he took me to the hospital. Here.
For what?
Because I fainted. I fainted.
Like on air or after the show?
No,
not on
during
air.
Commercial break. I
during
remember that,
commercial
right
break, I
outside
got
that
out.
door.
I got out and I fainted.
Fainted, passed out. You know.
Yeah, I passed
semantics.
out. I passed out. I was doing all kinds of stuff. I was out of my mind, wasted. Yeah, I fainted, and Nick, and then I would have still done the show, but Nick drove me to the hospital.
Ryan Beaton points out you should have had John drive you to the hospital. It would have been like being in an ambulance.
The way Wallach drives, hell yeah, that's like Cannonball Run situation.
Yeah. So congratulations to the Guy from Machine. You get nothing.
I like scruff.
But thank you for. But the Guy from Machine, strangely, was campaigning very hard on Instagram.
The events. It was none other than.
Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the arm of the lawman is putting into my running, and I'm so far from my home. Oh, mama, I can hear you were crying. You're so scared and all alone. Yeah. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have Pittsburgh. The time is up, the time is out to finally find me. Who had it made?
And so. What you get there.
By the way, when you ask Google what is the greatest song performed at live sporting events, We Will Rock You / We Are the Champions, followed by Sweet Caroline, Seven Nation Army, and Eye of the Tiger.
So what happens is, at this point, Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll, to the delight of the crowd, out comes Jelly Roll. You're like, I just came here to see Pat McAfee talk about the lawsuits he was having. And now Jelly Roll is out? So Pat McAfee is singing a duet with the Roll. He got Jelly Roll.
Who had it made? Never gonna go away. It could be the end of the wanted man. What's up, Prince Emily? The jig is up. I can't hear you. Never gonna go astray.
What's supposed to, are they? Is that supposed to be the crowd singing?
Apparently, yeah.
Because they didn't catch on.
Trying to get them to sing "Renegade" by Styx, which is a song everybody knows the words to.
Yeah,
all of the words to.
Yeah,
right?
he wants the crowd to sing. Apparently, this is "Renegade" by Styx, which I didn't know the name of the song. I've obviously heard it before, but I didn't know it was "Renegade" by Styx. And he, his theory is, this is him putting the mic into the crowd. This is what it sounds like. And this is the one that they broadcast. This isn't a cell phone in the crowd. This is like as good an audio feed as you could get.
Oh, boy.
This is Jelly Roll, who they somehow produced Jelly Roll. So I take back everything I said about his audience being complete idiots. If they're Jelly Roll fans, then I have the utmost respect for them. But this is him telling the crowd to sing. No, you can't hear him because no one's singing Jelly Roll. You've picked the wrong song to have the audience sing along to. By the way, they're about 20 minutes into the thing here? Yeah. By the way, this is in hour 3. This is as hot as the crowd is going to get. They've been pre-gaming. They're ready to rock and roll. This is the first real thing that's happened.
We look, too. There are people that paid $200 to get into this event. Oh,
God.
Well, good for Jelly Roll. He said, not only am I going to take the money that you've paid me to do this one song, I'm not singing it. So good for Jelly Roll. He said, he goes, look, if you're dumb enough to pay me to come out and do one song and to set up this stage so I can come out and play a Stick song, guess what? I ain't even singing it. So Jelly Roll is the true businessman. So if McAfee gave away, I guess he gave away $2 million. He obviously paid Skeens, Crosby, and Roethlisberger to go. He paid Wiz Khalifa. He paid Snoop Dogg, and he paid Jelly Roll. How much do you think McAfee even made money? Do you think McAfee made mony on this?
No,
I think he lost money.
No.
Yeah, he had to have lost money on this. Because there's no way he made money on this.
Even if you bang that place out, and it's what, 16, 17, 18 grand? Where the Penguins play?
Yeah, he
didn't bang it out. There's no way he could have. So.
Yeah, and by the way, it was, and I'm not, look, if he got even like 3/4 of an arena, that's great for him. Like that shows his popularity in Pittsburgh. So I'm not even putting him down, but it was, very much quote unquote sold out. Like it was apparently not, sold out. It's still impressive.
Well, even so, I mean, you have a stage. You're not going to get seats behind the stage.
No. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like he definitely lost money on this. I don't really understand the reason for doing this at all. I guess YouTube money? Maybe they get something off YouTube for streaming.
Chance for everyone to get to see it from the waist down so they can see, in addition to the sleeveless black T-shirt, you've got warm-up pants and cowboy boots.
Oh, well, no. He also sits like a kindergartner on his show. He stands up a lot because he can't be seated. He's got too much to say. He's got too much jazz.
Too much energy.
And then he'll sit on his sit on his crossed leg under him.
Yeah.
Like, like how a kindergartner sits in class, like they have one leg under him. He sits like that because he's very casual. Standing up while you do your show, you hack.
Hey, come on.
Shut up. You're not doing a show. You're up there running the board. Run the board. All right, Cedric Maxwell will be joining us in just a moment. He has a book coming out. Did you know that?
I did know that, yes.
Did you know that before yesterday?
No, I did not.
All right, well, then there you go. Everyone's finding out new stuff. We'll talk to Cedric Maxwell in just a moment.
More Toucher and Hardy next on the Sports Hub.
The lobster rolls are back at the Nines. Visit your local 99 today and try their famous Colossal Lobster Roll. 100%.
those practices
workouts, film sessions. So there's not one thing they could do tonight that will impact what they've done.
Ryan said, this entire event is what ChatGPT would spit out if you asked it, what would the Pat McAfee live show be like in an arena? And ChatGPT would spit out, well, he'd come out to smoke, and then they'd play a song like Renegade because they're in Pittsburgh, and then he'd have people like Jelly Roll be there to, it's just no surprises. I'm sure the people who attended, other than maybe the legal monologue, probably got what they were expecting.
I don't know this Chat GPT you speak of. I only use Sarge GPT. That's my preferred artificial intelligence provider.
Sarge, what do you think about people using you for ill?
You got to wait till he boosts up, then ask him.
Is booting up. Welcome. You've got Sarge.
All right. Well, what did you want to ask him?
What? Just very quickly, and then John was telling us something.
Fred?
Yeah, just give me 1 second to get this line out. John was talking to us.
Sup?
Thanks, Sarge. John was.
Wallach?
Sarge, I mean, does your AI formula not let me finish a sentence? I mean, who taught you how to interrupt?
I think it'll let you.
Sup, party?
Okay, I think it'll let you.
I mean, geez, Louise. So John was telling us about it.
Sup, Zo?
Whoa! Zolak's not even here. Now I think, Sarge AI, you're just being mean. You're programmed to be mean.
Absolutely.
You will. How could I get mad at you, Sarge GPT? But John said that Shaughnessy's got an article about Bill's new book that has some pretty interesting stuff in it. But first, Sarge GPT, if I could ask you a question, what do you feel about...
Absolutely.
What do you feel about, and as timely as you can answer it too, what do you feel about people using you for evil?
Like Mean Gene Okerlund once said, you can't help the way you look.
Well said, Sarge GPT. All right, so Bill Belichick has a book out, John, and what is that?
Did Sarge GPT answer all your questions?
No, not even close. You just disrupted everything, Sarge.
No charge from the Sarge.
Well, I wasn't
GPT.
I was not about to pay you.
Sarge GPT signing off.
All right, so Bill Belichick has a new book coming out called The Art of Winning. Now, it's not designed to be a book about his life. It's not a memoir, a biography. Right. It's none of that. It's just about it's like all these coaches, like how they got to be good leaders and things of that nature.
So Dan Shaughnessy got an advance copy. It's officially going to be released next month, but Dan Shaughnessy got an advance copy, and it's part of his Sunday, notes free form kind of column, which he posted this morning on bostonglobe.com. And there are a couple of interesting things involved. It's about, according to Dan, about 80,000 words, and Robert Kraft is not mentioned once in any of it. Now, Bill spent 25 years here. He has not mentioned Robert Kraft once.
Now, at this point, it's hard to be surprised by what Bill Belichick, does, because I'm sorry. No, I did not see the Jordan relationship coming 1,000 miles away. And I trust Shaughnessy, who went through the entire book, when he says he doesn't have a mention of Robert Kraft.
Not in the acknowledgments, not in the thank yous at the end of the book, not like in the acknowledgments. I mean, you can literally list as many people as you want, just a laundry list of people. I mean, it's the part of the book, unless you loved it, that you never read. Like if you read a biography that someone put there can be literally 100 of them.
Yeah, Bill's lone, this is Dan Shaughnessy writing here, Bill's lone reference to Kraft in the book appears to be this, quote, somewhere someone came up with the phrase the Patriot way. I think they made some money off of it. Good for them. Here's something you should know. The Patriots way does not exist, unquote, and that's it.
Right.
That's the only thing. Dan's thrust of Dan's story here is the Belichick-Kraft feud, regardless of what they say, think, or do, is absolutely real. And you remember that multi-part series Dynasty, that Kraft propaganda that we all watched. This Kraft book seems to be an answer. This Belichick book seems to be an answer to that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? I can see why that would happen. You know, he just got fired a couple years ago. That dynasty thing came out, and it was very slanted against him. I could see not wanting to thank him or mention him in the book.
You mentioned.
I mean, I as much as I make fun of Bill, I could see him not wanting to do that.
But
there's people I've worked with I would certainly not thank.
Robert Kraft brought Bill Belichick in after Parcells got fired. It's gone over extensively in Dynasty and everywhere else, where he's like, I want to hire you now. Now's not the right time. I have to be clear of this Belichick thing. But then you remember all the hoops that Kraft had to jump through just to get him out of that whole Jets thing and bring him here. I mean, if Bill Belichick is not brought here by Robert Kraft, who knows where his coaching might have wound up? Who knows what we would have thought of him at this point? He has a lot to thank Robert Kraft for.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to mention him in this book because it's a book about winning. It's not a book about his life.
We did all of the winning here. And Belichick and Kraft gave him the keys to the car.
What I'm saying, though, is it's not like he was admitted from something that his name had to be put into. What I'm saying is, like, look, obviously it means he doesn't like him. For sure, 100%. It doesn't, like, but what I'm saying is I don't know if I necessarily blame him. Go ahead.
Okay, again, this is Dan writing here. Bill's exhaustive acknowledgments section features a nice shout-out to wingman Burj Nigerian.
Okay, so I am the only one in this room who did not know who Burj Nigerian was.
Burj was the guy always standing behind Bill during press conferences. He was his, I don't know, for lack of a better phrase, walk-around guy, his fixer. He's the guy who took care of all the things that
right-hand
Bill
man,
needed to do.
yeah.
He actually, I believe he now works for Bill O'Brien at BC.
Yeah, and everything is going great from what I understand. He's got, I don't know what his role is there, but he's got family here, didn't have to move, so Bears is still local.
Plus, and going back to Dan after mentioning Burge, plus, thank you to my idea mill and creative muse, Jordan Hudson.
I mean, this guy has completely lost his mind. And I can tell you this. I have conversations with the people at the station down the hall. I have everybody I run into in my personal life everywhere is absolutely fascinated. He has lost his effing mind. His creative muse, my muse. You know what she is? A learned scholar. Wise beyond her years. Do you understand?
I understand.
That look was worth it.
Hardy.
That look from
Hardy
Hardy was worth it.
She not only finished high school.
Yeah.
Sit down and listen if you're going to take shots at this. Not only did Jordan go to high school. Now I know she's young. But how many 23-year-olds do you know that went to college for 4 years? A real one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Philosophy.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was a philosophy major, but she certainly at least took a course. She had a textbook. I mean, you take a semester of philosophy at college. Was she at Oxford? Like studying over the great philosophical minds of our time?
She may have been. I don't know.
She was not. She was right here in state.
Okay, well, there's a fine institutions.
Yeah,
in
not
this
at
state.
Harvard or anything, though.
But the many, many, many
not Brandeis,
high-quality
not
institutions
Northeastern.
of higher learning in this state, and she was at one of them.
Yeah.
Leslie? No.
Is Leslie good?
It is.
Yeah, no, she didn't go to Leslie.
Yeah. Okay.
No, she didn't go to there. She didn't go to Brandeis.
Yeah.
She didn't go to BC. She didn't go to BU.
Very good schools.
Yeah.
Like you said, no Northeastern.
I'm telling you, when I found out how expensive Northeastern was, I was like, Jesus Christ. And that you got to spend the first year in London or LA. I mean, I never knew. It's so, listen, they got that baseball program cooking. It's a whole thing.
In all, 363 people thanked by Bill Belichick.
Including Malcolm Butler.
Including Malcolm Butler and not Robert Kraft.
So, I mean, look, in Patriot people that are weird about all this, he thanked 363 people and didn't thank Robert Kraft or anyone in the Kraft family. I mean, that's a blatant omission. In fact, what I will say is I understand why he didn't. Like, I do.
Yeah, he's angry.
Sure. Yeah, he's angry at him.
He's very angry.
But the thing is, and I would be too, I guess. I would be pissed off. I mean, not only just about getting fired, because that's justifiable and that's going to happen.
No, the dynasty
It's about
thing.
the dynasty thing.
Yeah.
That would really piss me off.
Let's use Bill as a punching bag.
Yeah,
That's what that was.
That would piss me off, too. Like, now you're screwing with my legacy. It wasn't enough to fire me. Now you're screwing with my legacy. Because you know you're going to get fired. If you can't accept getting fired as a coach, then you're out of your mind. So I don't doubt he could have accepted being fired. It's that doubling down on making him look bad on the way out, which would have pissed me off. It would have pissed you off and would have pissed everyone off. Not enough time has gone by, nor maybe, given their ages, will something go by. Maybe if, like, one of them dies, when one of them dies, when everyone's going to die. I mean, when one of them dies, then that would be a time to be like, to make a public statement. Maybe that would be a little petty not to at that point, because you did have that history together. But until something like that, he has no responsibility to thank him. But I wouldn't doubt that he thought of as many names as he possibly could to put in those acknowledgments, to even dig it in deeper. Because it's not like, because I used 100 as a lot. 363. I don't know if I've read a book with 363 names in the acknowledgments.
That spans, I would imagine, his entire
and
life.
I've read like a dozen books.
I know, but I tend not to read the acknowledgments or even introductions. That's something I remember reading from Stephen King. He says, especially for a novel, he goes, "Don't read the introduction. Just skip to the story."
Sometimes the introduction is interesting because, or the what is it called? The first thing that when they thank someone.
Not the
prologue. No, the prologue you have to read. But at the very beginning, there'll be a page with like a phrase on it. Sometimes it's interesting. Like, they'll thank someone interesting, and then you get the backstory of why they thanked them.
Yeah.
It's like the thanks. I don't know what they call that in a book. Again, I've read 12.
Acknowledgments.
No, the acknowledgments is at the end.
I know what he's talking about.
Wrong.
It's one blank page. It said to Joan forever and ever.
It's the dedication, probably.
Dedication, yes.
I would assume it's called the dedication.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's interesting because they'll name someone that you've heard of, and you go, "Oh, I wonder why that is," and you'll find out that they had like a mutually like creative relationship, and then it'll get you down a rabbit hole.
But that's different from reading the first 15 pages of like, I decided to write this book because just write it. Just let me read it.
Oh,
I'm not reading all this.
That's rare that someone will be that self-indulgent, though.
Well, it's maybe the type of person who writes this whole long book and never mentions the names Aaron Hernandez, Robert Kraft, but does say things like, according to Shaughnessy's article here, we don't want players who have an issue with authority, and then doesn't mention Aaron Hernandez. It doesn't mention Spygate, Deflategate, doesn't talk about the Malcolm Butler benching in the Super Bowl. Nothing. None of it makes it.
But again, this isn't that book. And here I am in a position to defend Bill. So all of you who think I'm not fair, we'll all admit the relationship has gotten sad. And if you're not admitting that, you're in a very strange place, because even these two, who are more than happy to jab me and get at me, they've never once argued that this has. It's gotten from funny to kind of sad. Like it's like an old man that's like lost control. Again, if your goal is to have sex with like younger women, that's great. If your goal is to date them, sure. If they become your creative muse and your agent and your all this stuff, like, you've lost your mind. You've given all the influence in your life to one person, which I would think would be crazy anyway. But usually when that happens, you're not able to make decisions, and they're like someone who's been in your life for, over a couple years. And this is sad. But I will say this is like that Wooden book on winning. Like, he doesn't have to mention, I mean, it would be kind of out of place for him to mention Spygate or something like that. This is this is supposed to be like for leadership. You know what he wants with this book? He doesn't even want to sell this book. What he wants is speaking engagements. So this book he would get him anyway, I know. But writing a book like this, then there's like, this is my blueprint. And then you go to different corporations and they pay you, $400,000 to go to the, McDonald's offices in Chicago or outside of Chicago and sit there and talk to them. That's the goal of this book, I would imagine.
Yeah, but look, there's very little chance of me reading the entire thing anyway.
Oh.
But I'm not interested in anything he has to say until he talks about one thing, Malcolm Butler. Tell me about that, and I'll read the anecdotes about, there's a great story about the smell of Adam Vinatieri's hotel room before the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Don't care. I don't want to hear about your folksy homespun yarns about Tom Brady and the days back in the 70s, scouting players with index. Tell me about Malcolm Butler, and then I'll listen to all this other crap.
Why wouldn't you at this point, by the way? Why? I mean, you won the next year.
Because
why wouldn't you mention it now that we're so many years, a decade past it? Why not mention why?
What I think is that it is either horribly embarrassing to one of the parties involved, or it is completely indefensible, and that's why he won't talk about it. There's one of those two reasons would be my guess.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of things he did that was indefensible that he's like, we did what was right for the team, like going for it on 4th and 2 against Indianapolis in your own territory. That was horrible, and he constantly came out and said we did what was best for the team. I don't think it was indefensible. I think it's more the first one. He's done a lot of indefensible things.
It's the way for someone, and the way Malcolm Butler has kept his mouth shut, and that maybe Belichick's actually being a good guy. But you two are so negative. I'm sitting here having to defend Bill Belichick.
Yeah. Well,
and this is
very
just another
philosophical of you.
I kind of like the way this
You know
is
what?
turning.
I kicked around the idea over there at Rollins College.
Did you?
They said because world-renowned philosophy department.
Yeah.
They said Winter Park, Florida is the new Greece. It's the new Athens. It's the Athens of the 1990s is what they called it. And I came out of there with such wisdom.
Yeah.
Such wisdom. The girl's got a 4-year degree. What do you want him to do? Not give her complete control of his life? I mean, she has no business experience and no business, not even, to my knowledge, internships, anything even remotely involved with any of this. But she's a muse.
She has all these posts on Instagram. Are you not going to hand over your complete public persona to her? She's
Absolutely.
on Instagram. Of course she's going to do it.
Is part of every negotiation you have for sponsorships going to be to shove her into it? Mm-hmm. Of course. None of it's sad or weird. Sure. It's all on board. It's all on board. If he was anyone else, it would be something else. John, go ahead.
Hey, I didn't know if you guys saw that Jordan is running for Miss Maine.
Oh, that is rarefied air.
And all I can think about is that Seinfeld episode where Kramer is the coach for that woman that's running for that pageant.
Yeah, because then Bill finally can be with his dream, which is someone who has won the main beauty pageant. And you know how they ask him questions? Because it's more than just about beauty. Imagine if by some luck Aristotle was the subject and she could use all 4 years of that education to get up there and knock it out of the park and leave us all loving and wanting Jordan. And what I want to when I'm older is to get married to a 23-year-old who's entering beauty pageants. Because nothing speaks class and good looks like a beauty pageant.
Well, she did wish everyone a happy International Pageant Day and say, I couldn't think of a better way to share with the world that I will be competing for Miss Maine USA 2025.
And again, wow, the true elite in those competitions.
Do you have to announce your candidacy for that?
Yeah. Did you know they still did it, is the question that I'm going to ask you.
No.
All right, very good. That's my point. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Bruins now have 2 games left. They lost at home to Chicago last night, 5-2. They will visit Pittsburgh on Sunday. Joe Sacco confirmed yesterday Charlie McAvoy and Mark Kastelik are done for the season. Celtics had last night off. They have 2 games left in their regular season. They'll host Charlotte tonight. Jaylen Brown is out. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Red Sox got 2 in the bottom of the 10th inning. They beat Toronto yesterday at Fenway Park to avoid a 4-game sweep. They're in Chicago tonight to play the White Sox. Also, they have reportedly signed former All-Star catcher Yasmani Grandal to a minor league contract. Patriots have announced that Julian Edelman, Logan Mankins, and Adam Vinatieri are the 3 finalists for election in the team's Hall of Fame. And round 2 of the Masters underway. Justin Rose will tee off in about 10 minutes. He's got a 3-shot lead at 7 under par. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Mass Energy. This past winter, the Massachusetts Energy Marketers Association kept hundreds of thousands of customers safe and warm with heating oil and clean, renewable bioheat fuel. For more information about bioheat fuel and heating equipment rebates, visit massenergymarketers.org. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9 o'clock.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Alex Barth.
Yeah, we were talking with Alex Barth in his mock draft and how he had Shedeur Sanders going to the Cleveland Browns at 2. Cleveland, of course, has Deshaun Watson. He's not going to play. They have Kenny Pickett. They have this morning signed Joe Flacco to a contract to back up Pickett or to have him start in general. I would imagine Joe Flacco would not be signing unless he was given some sort of promise.
No. He'd sign for a backup. Absolutely,
Okay.
100,000%.
Okay, but the point is...
He might even prefer that, and I'm not joking.
I guess my point is, I don't think you sign and he's, oh, yeah, I'll be
they're not.
third string.
He's making the team.
Yes.
Yeah, like, so
That
you're
was my
paying.
point.
Yeah. But not starter. So, like, because it even furthers your point. The point you're trying to make, it even furthers, in my opinion. So Kenny, they acquired Kenny Pickett. Now they got Joe Flacco. So what they're going and they might draft a quarterback,
but it won't be at number 2.
But it's not going to be at number 2.
Right.
There's no way, because what they might get they probably will take a flyer on a kid later in the draft.
But they'll do what a lot of teams are probably thinking of: wait till next year.
I think that they could even take like Jalen Milroe and because he won't play this year.
Yeah.
And Pickett's not your long-term answer as a starter.
Right. You took a flyer, even in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th round on a kid like Dylan Gabriel of Oregon. Whatever. The point is, it's not going to be Shedeur Sanders at 2. It's going to be Travis Hunter at 2.
Yeah, you do not take a kid at 2 that you do not plan on starting at least this season after you take him. Like, the thing is that and you would have to develop them. And third-team reps is not developing them. Because think about it. If you get, your plan is to get Shedeur Sanders, who's old, by the way. Like, one of the advantages of getting him is he would start right away. So, but for whatever reason, you want to sit him for a year. I don't know why Shedeur Sanders would be the one that you would want to sit. But Kenny Pickett's got to start the games for you. So he's got the first-team reps. Then the second-team reps have to go to Flacco because they've guaranteed him a roster spot for the season. There's no question. That they needed to do to sign him. So he's got to take second-team reps. And now Shedeur Sanders is never even going to be on the field.
Yeah.
But you get like Jalen Milroe or something, then you're like, okay, well, we're gradually bringing this kid along. Or they might not take a quarterback at all. Who knows?
So more and more, it's going to be Cam Ward at 1, Travis Hunter at 2, and Abdul Carter has his second day of meetings with the Giants today.
Barth has tied himself in knots trying to get the Patriots to get Abdul Carter in his mock draft.
It's looking more and more like Carter's going to go 3 to the Giants, which leaves you right back where we all started about a year ago. Who's the best left tackle in the draft? And more, it looks like Will Campbell is going to be the best left tackle in the draft. I sent you guys something from Jeremy Fowler yesterday where he interviewed 6 talent evaluators across the league. They all seem to think that Will Campbell will be an all-pro guard, and right out of the gates, regardless of his arm length, he's better than half the left tackles in the National Football League. And you heard what Elliott Wolf and Mike Vrabel said at the team owners meetings last week. More and more, I'm coming to the idea that they're not going to trade down. They're going to take Will Campbell at 4.
All right. So there you go. Take Alex Barth's mock draft, throw it in the trash, light it on fire.
Hell yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Watch him go second. But what do I know? But it certainly doesn't. I don't think Cleveland's in any way, shape, or form taking him. And it certainly doesn't appear that the Giants are going to take him either, which means the Saints at 9 are the place that he would go.
And if he doesn't take Jackson Dart at 9, then he free falls out of the first round.
Well, if Shedeur Sanders, I will tell you something interesting. Jalen Milroe has been invited to the draft and accepted the invitation. Yep. And they didn't invite a lot of people. I think they invited something like 8 to 10 kids. And the NFL doesn't want them not taken. They want them taken that night. I guess that they don't like. I heard McShay talking about how he had been in production meetings with ESPN where they were the league was like, we don't want cameras on kids not getting taken. Like Brady Quinn, Will Levis. They don't like that. So if they invited Jalen Milroe to the draft, there has to be at least some noise in league circles about him being a late first-round pick. Yeah. So, because I don't think they'd invite him to have him sit there with no chance of being taken. And I don't know who else they invited. I'm sure they invited Shedeur Sanders, but I think Shedeur Sanders will get taken in the first round. All right, we'll be back. Kendra Middleton is here, and she has come prepared with her own material for once, finally.
Woo!
Jesus Christ. Finally, something creative from this broad.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub, a Beasley Media Group station. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Chicago scored 4 times in the third period to snap a 1 game or snap a 1-1 tie. They beat the Bruins last night 5-2 at TD Garden. Former Bruin Nick Foligno scored twice for the winners. Bruins have 2 games left. They'll be in Pittsburgh on Sunday. Celtics also have 2 games left in their regular season. They finish up with back-to-back home games against Charlotte. The first one is tonight at TD Garden. Grandy and Max have the pregame at 7 and the tip-off at 7:30 here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Jaylen Brown is out. Red Sox got 2 in the bottom of the 10th to beat Toronto 4-3 and avoid a 4-game sweep at Fenway Park. Trevor Story drove in the game-winning run. Sean Newcomb will face the Chicago White Sox tonight out in Chicago. Also, Mass Live is reporting the Red Sox have signed free agent catcher Yasmani Grandal to a minor league contract. Patriots have announced that Julian Edelman, Logan Mankins, and Adam Vinatieri are the 3 finalists for election into the team's Hall of Fame. And round 2 of the Masters underway this morning. Justin Rose is your leader at 7 under par. He's just teed off. He's the only guy in the top 10 currently on the course. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Colossal Lobster Rolls at the 99. 100% North Atlantic lobster piled high on grilled brioche. Served hot, buttered, or with just the right amount of mayo and celery. You gotta love the 9s. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports. 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
New England plays here.
Ball down the right side. It's a separation. Yes. Touchdown pass. Yes. Perfect dime from Drake May.
98.5 The Sports Hub. Fred describes himself in 7 words.
A guy in tights and a cape.
And Hardy with blunt honesty.
I am not known as Mr. Fun.
Toucher and Hardy continues on the Sports Hub.
Toucher and Hardy, you can watch us on YouTube. Simply subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. We are live on there, and then so many things are on tape. Kendra Middleton is very popular with everyone. Hi, Kendra.
Hi, how's it going?
It is going well, and how have you been?
I'm good. No complaints here. I ate so much food last night. I think I'm still I got the meat sweats a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What'd you have there?
I went to Hot Pot.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Hot Pot is? You just go, it's I think it's Chinese. You go and you order a bunch of stuff and you share it with everybody and you just dip it in this spiced hot broth and it cooks it and then you dip it in a sauce and you eat it.
It's usually very expensive. You would think that it wouldn't be so expensive, but they really lay on the price for just
delicious.
putting raw meat in front of you with vegetables. I mean,
so you got to cook it yourself in the hot broth?
Yeah.
For a second, it's like boiling.
Yeah.
You stick it in and then it cooks for a little bit. It's good.
It's like fondue.
Yeah.
It is like fondue,
Yeah.
but it's not without the cheese.
Yeah.
You ever have a fondue party over there in Canton?
No, but when I was a kid, we had kitty fondue. Did you have kitty fondue?
I never have had fondue in my life.
Okay, so
Really?
kitty fondue was like little marshmallows you'd put on a stick and you could dip it in either chocolate or cherry, and I think there was a vanilla cream type of concoction. Yeah, John? You know, the kitty fondue era?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, delightful.
The same era as the Pet Rockin' Streakin'.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
We did one after the other. It was great.
the wheelhouse.
Everyone was watching Kiss in the Phantom of the Park and having fun. All right, look, Kendra, I've been told you have something for us.
Yes, I do. Can we get some music?
Yeah, so Kendra has come up with concocted a game for the 3 of you to play. It is called F1 Car or Male Porn Star.
Oh. If they're active male porn stars, I'm not going to do well.
I kind of like this.
Do you know, just real quick before we get to the game, I've expressed this at least to Adam off the air. Due to the TT Boy interview show, TT Boy, the ex-male porn star who interviews other porn stars, I no longer enjoy pornography. I cannot watch it. I cannot use it. It does not arouse me to a degree. It depresses me now.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would get to this place in my life, but I do not.
You got, homeboy.
I do not like pornography. I'm way too aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm way too aware of how business-like it is. How many people are in the room.
They pulled the curtain back, and you did not like what you saw.
No, it's the whole fantasy's
What was
gone.
behind the green door?
Like,
Fred? You didn't like it.
regardless of this, any scenario because I do enjoy a setup in my pornography, and any setup now, I'm just completely out of it. It's taken me out of it. I'm in my own. I know what's going on. I can see the camera crew in my head. I can see the childhood pain. I can't do it anymore.
Freddie T out on pornography.
Didn't have that in the pool.
TT boy out.
Yeah. I no longer. John, you're not in that place.
Never. I won't be in that place. No.
Stay humble.
Maybe Fred's frontal lobe developed. Look at him go.
I can't watch hardcore pornography anymore. I really can't.
I had to be a big shot, right?
I mean, I can watch it. It's just I don't enjoy it.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't like when I go take my naps now. I have no use for it.
I'm an animal.
I know.
You know, it used to help my naps.
Sure.
Now there's no help for the naps.
Yeah, you get tired and you go to sleep.
Now it's just
after that.
ASMR on that tablet.
I got it.
All right.
Soothing sounds like.
Look at the bird, remember?
No, that's TT Boy is bad.
Fly, little bird, fly.
You ruined porno for me, TT Boy.
Scarface.
I watch that every time it comes on.
You two idiots were the one that really put it over the top because that's like two guys with head injuries having a conversation. I mean, you've never heard a dumber. I tell you, it's dumb. And the things they're talking about are weird and dumb. Like from when they were kids, it's weird and dumb. Yeah. Like the descriptions of things they did when they were kids, they're so idiotic. And then you're like, I hate these guys. And they're in every porn I liked when I was a kid. Back when I was a kid, you do this game, at least John and I, you watch pornography, right?
Sure.
Yeah, so like the three of us, we would clean up. There were only like 5 guys that did pornography.
Why are you laughing?
This is just funny.
Why? Why is this funny?
I'm not sure how strong this game's going to be, so I'm killing stuff. But look, no, I'm just playing. But look, you could name from the 80s, 90s 5 male porn stars. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me obvious porn
Peter
stars.
North, TT Boy. There's that guy Herschel. What's his name?
Herschel Savage.
Herschel Savage.
He did some legit work, too.
That's 3.
The most famous porn star of all time.
Ron Jeremy.
The most famous porn star of all time. They did a movie.
Johnny Wad.
Yeah, John Holmes.
Rocco Siffredi.
All right, that's 6. I can't watch Rocco's. I never could. He's too aggressive. I think he's mean to the girls.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So it lasted into his 50s.
I have to believe that the woman's having a good time is part of it, and I don't believe it anymore.
So there you go.
I don't believe that the woman's having a good time. I don't believe the guy's having a good time. There's injections they can give the guys now where they don't even have to be aroused. It's all happening.
I forgot about Johnny Wad. Good call.
Well, that's
how did you forget about John Holmes? He was in the Wonderland Murders. He's the most infamous porn star of all time, including women.
Yeah.
But are they all as infamous as what? Cars?
Okay, so the deal with this is that you're going to guess whether the name of this person is an F1 driver or a porn star.
All right, so if there's going to be a lot of European porn stars.
Yeah.
A lot of people that have not been circumcised.
Okay. She's done her homework.
If you're a fan of the uncircumcised.
I had to tweet the other day. I was like, I had to go on the old hub for work, and I don't think anybody believed me. But this is proof that I was on PH.
You don't want to be Pete Townsend.
Wow.
Okay.
Not everyone believes.
Research.
Yeah.
It is work research. Thank
so,
you.
Kendra, are you going to ask the room and let them all kind of buzz
I'm
in?
gonna let you all guess,
Okay.
and we'll have a winner at the end.
I'll keep score.
Oh, I was going to, but you can.
Yeah, you got enough on your hands. Let Hardy keep
Okay,
score.
Hardy. All right, so our first name is Valtteri Bottas. Do we think that's an F1 driver or a male porn star?
That is without question a driver.
I'm going to say that it's his driver, too.
I'm going to make the unanimous. That's a driver.
Okay, correct. Driver.
All right.
We have 13 names, so number 2.
That's what a car says.
Really?
The Flesh Mechanic.
The Flesh Mechanic?
Yep.
That's a horrible porn star name. I mean, it's obviously not a driver. No one named their kid Flesh Mechanic.
You said the Flesh Mechanic.
Flesh
Could this
Mechanic.
be
His
a
first name is
nickname
The.
for a driver?
It could be.
Okay.
Oh, it could be a nickname.
All right.
It
This
can
could
be.
be a nickname for a driver.
So it could have been someone who got hurt driving, and
Right.
then he's the Flesh Mechanic.
Yeah.
See, it's obviously
It's too cheap
it's
too cheesy for a porn name.
right. So it's I'm going driver again.
It's a driver nickname.
Yeah,
It's too cheesy
that's
for a
that's
porn name.
driver.
That is a porn star.
What movies has he been in?
Yeah, let's fact check
You can do
this.
your own reason. Okay, go for
Let's
it.
fact check this.
Yeah.
What movies has he been in?
Fred can look this up. I'll let Fred find him.
Flesh Mechanic.
Yep.
All right.
Do I want to give you guys another name while he's looking?
Yeah, go ahead.
Kevin Magnuson.
That's a porn star.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a F1 driver. Kevin Magnuson. No, I'm thinking of the the strong man.
Oh, yeah.
Magnus for Magnuson? And Magnus for Magnuson. That's the strong man.
Kevin Magnuson.
Oh, Bradley Hamilton, a.k.a. the Flesh Mechanic, is very loosely a porn star. He has an only... All right.
He's on the-
already
he's
there
on
is
the hub.
controversy.
He's on the hub.
There is already controversy.
Oh, we have a problem.
He's a legitimate actor. Esquire has done an article on him. He is an
he's not a porn
OnlyFans performer. Does he have hardcore sex in OnlyFans?
Oh yeah, he's also on Pornhub. I looked up the Pornhub top 50 for this. Don't you worry.
Oh, he is an OnlyFans sex performer. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I did my homework.
That counts.
And
All
as,
right,
dubious,
Kendra?
as dubious as his adult film credits may be, he probably doesn't even drive. So there's no way that he is a Formula One driver.
All right.
Kevin Magnuson. What do we think?
He's in Ottawa, Canada.
I'm going porn star.
I'm going driver.
I'm going driver.
He is a driver.
All right. I'm losing.
All right.
It's terrible.
Nico Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg sounds like a porn star.
She's so focused on Europe and sometimes the uncircumcised
Yeah.
get me out of the whole, even before my anti-porn take.
But
The
Hulken-
uncircumcised would get me all out of my head too.
No,
I can't
that's not
relate
very
to it.
Sexy sounding Hulkenberg. Hulk.
It's the Jewish Hulk, Hulkenberg. Or maybe it's a comedy team, Hulkenberg.
You know what? I'm flipping on this one. I'm going driver.
Okay.
Wait.
Fred?
What's his name?
Nico Hulkenberg.
I'm going. He's a porn guy.
I'll say driver.
Driver.
Wow. Back in it, baby.
That's what it sounds like when they crash. All the glass on it breaking.
All right. Next name. Maximo Garcia.
See, she said that to kind of lead us in the porn direction. Maximo. You know what I'm saying?
No. These are like European porn stars, which is very confusing and really anti-American. If you ask about it, I mean, what about you put the tariff on the
Does
European
that throw
porn?
you off when you have the foreign language going on in the?
No, not at all.
You like that?
No, by their acting, physically, I can see what's going on. I can see who's seducing whom and how they're related. And everyone now.
Maximo Garcia is.
That is a porn star.
That's a porn star.
I'm going driver.
Porn star.
Damn it.
What has he been in?
I know.
Oh, he has some really scary stuff. I'm not going to lie to you.
All right, did you watch it?
You went porn star?
No, but
I did. I'm
I
losing
have
now.
seen
Yeah.
him before
Oh,
on.
you got that one right.
Let her answer. You've seen her before on what?
I've seen him before in. Remember that whole like Lily Phillips, Bonnie Blue person? When I looked them up, he was in those videos.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, next name, Oliver Bearman.
Driver.
Hello.
Driver.
I'll say driver.
Driver.
Correct, driver. All right, Manuel Ferrara.
That's a male porn star who women are like legitimate women are very into. Do you find him attractive? Yeah.
Not at
A
all.
lot of women. That's like
You
their
ruined it.
guy. Yeah.
Fred doesn't watch Porn Toucher.
I just said I just stopped. I
Okay.
spent 49 years or.
Ne-
I couldn't get my hands on it until I was like 12. I stopped like 3 months ago.
Sure.
Yeah, you know.
It's a lot of time.
I didn't stop. I didn't stop the result of porn.
Right.
It's not. I can't watch the hardcore pornography anymore.
Right.
Go ahead.
Esteban Ocon.
Driver.
Driver.
Driver, got it. All right, we're gonna go with. The sounds are killing me. We're gonna go with. We got just a few more. We're gonna go with Nacho Vidal.
That's a porn star. I know who that is. That's a porn star.
I'll go with Fred.
No, it's a porn star.
Porn star.
Correct. All right, last two. We're gonna go with Alexander Albon.
Driver.
Driver. Last one. Lawrence Stroll.
Ooh.
That's an interesting.
I'm going porn star on that one. Lawrence.
I think she's ending on a porn star.
I think so too.
So I'm saying porn star.
You know what? I tend to agree.
STROHL.
STROLL.
Oh yeah, that's porn star.
That's a porn star.
Porn star.
Driver.
Wow. Color me embarrassed.
Who's our winner, Hardy?
I am, and I've never seen that Ferreira guy even in any pornography. I only know of him because he's the object of lust of like women, like of all like women when they generally watch pornography, they'll talk about that guy being the reason that they watch pornography. He's a big Italian man.
Okay,
big by stature is what I'm saying.
It was a 3-way tie.
Wow.
We got 7 correct.
How appropriate.
A devil's threesome, my friends.
How many gentlemen were there total?
There were 13. I skipped 2 that 12 added just because I thought that you guys were doing pretty okay. It didn't seem like we needed a tiebreaker, but we can have a tiebreaker. We have a couple.
Yeah, let's do one tiebreaker.
All right.
All right.
We're going to go with Mickey Blue.
That's a porn
That's
star.
absolutely a porn star.
C12?
Yeah.
That was one of 12's names.
I would have gotten that one.
When you say them out loud, I recall reading them in the
And more than anything,
description.
it doesn't sound like a Formula One driver.
I agree.
Mickey?
No.
That's NASCAR.
Yes.
But do you guys read the description of the video you're about to watch?
No.
You don't. You go in blind.
Yeah.
Wow.
I see the thumbnail and I'm like,
Oh, you could get a scenario that's very
that's
disturbing,
happened to
Jonathan.
me more than one. Oh, it has. It's happened to me more than once.
You're playing Russian roulette, not reading the description.
No, there are some times where the
you
gun
have to
goes
be
off.
very
Yeah, no,
comfortable with interfamily relations if you're going to do that.
I read description. I go IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes. I do the whole thing.
There's some days where it goes all sorts of wrong.
What I'll do is I'll go, when did it come out? Then I'll consult my Hustler library.
Let's see what you
Then
got,
I'm still
homeboy.
putting into digital form, and I'll see how the boys over at Hustler rated it. The guys at Flynn Enterprises.
Fire up the microfiche.
Exactly. Let's see, 74.
Spin that wheel.
You know what I will say about 70s porn? The women are ugly.
Oh.
Very, very ugly. They could not get, because it was all based in New York. It's all ugly ladies. All right. When we come back, Hardy and Kendra can bond over their mutual love of all things boring. And we will have that for you in just a moment.
Well, it's TT Boy out.
You ruined it for me.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub. This is the show for you. Toucher and Hardy, the Sports Hub.
Kendra, the Masters.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All right, because other than the Super Bowl, obviously March Madness, Masters one of the bigger handles for sports books, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right. So I took your advice. I took several players for the top 5 finishes. I was looking for value in there.
Please tell me you took Scotty when I gave him out, because he was still plus money.
For a top 5?
Yeah.
It wasn't intriguing enough. I took him as a winner, which I know you don't love.
No, I don't. As long as the value's there, but when he was plus money for a top 5 finish or a top 10 finish.
Let me tell you what's looking real tasty right now.
Okay.
Okay. Bryson DeChambeau as a top 5 finish. I got that at plus 290.
Yeah, that's a good one. He's still plus 120 at the moment if you like that.
You know, I make fun of the two of them doing this stuff, but I have to admit the DeChambeau thing is tasty.
It's delicious.
You'd have to.
Still plus money.
Stop it. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it, Hardy? Ew.
Sepp Straka is screwing me over and a lot of other people.
God bless you.
Ludwig Oberg.
Yeah.
On my win-only ticket at plus 2,000.
I like that a lot.
I could cash that right now and pay for 3 bets.
He wasn't playing great golf heading into this, so I was so close to getting to the window on him, and I wish that I had at this point, but I mean, if you like him top 5, he's minus 105.
All right, so, and I'm going to do one more pre-tournament bet that I'll share with you, and then you can tell us what people can do to jump in after the fact. Playoff to decide the winner of the event. I got it plus 350. Now, I just judged this against what is the equivalent of a playoff to determine the winner of event in football? What is my favorite Super Bowl bet that I make every year? Will there be an overtime?
Yeah, I remember you saying that this year.
There have been years when that was as unprofitable as plus 700, plus 800. Like, I'm just throwing my money away on this. I got a playoff at the Masters at plus 350. I think that's pretty good.
That is very good. I like that a lot.
And I don't know. I mean, it probably won't change. I won't be able to. Right now, I can cash it out for even money. It's probably going to have to be a difference of a stroke or at the most 2 on the back 9 on Sunday before that thing becomes profitable, and then you decide whether you want to cash it or keep it.
Yeah. I know one of the really popular bets every year for the Masters is Mickelson making the cut these days, so I'm sure some people got in on that ahead of time. That always seems to be a big one. As of right now, if you didn't get in on what I gave out last week, or
on what you decided as your own person, human being, you wanted to do. It doesn't have to be something that you told people to do.
True, yes. Okay.
By the way, Justin Rose, birdie on 2, he's 8 under.
Oof.
Are we allowed to do that, Adam, or is that doing play-by-play? We don't have the rights.
Yeah.
I'm checking on that right now.
You got to be very careful.
You got to be really careful with the
come
FCC
on now.
these days.
Ugh, bullies. Okay, so Minwoo that I gave out last week is tied for 11th at the minute. I still think a top 10 for him sitting at plus 250 is probably not bad value. I think that he was playing good enough golf heading into this tournament to be able to kind of make it up the next couple of days. That being said, the Oberg situation, minus 105 for a top 5. I also feel pretty comfy at that. I'm going to give that out as well. Those would be 2 things that I would like to double down on.
Here's what bothers me about Oberg.
Okay.
Because he's young, still trying to make a name for himself. And as the guys who are in second place right now, and there are 3 of them 4 strokes behind Justin Rose, if that gap remains between Ludwig Oberg, Connors, the Canadian, and Scheffler, Connors and Scheffler aren't going to go crazy trying to make up ground. I think Oberg would.
Yeah.
I think if one of them is going to get impatient, it's going to be Oberg,
young.
and he's going to end up making doubles and stuff down the stretch. So that worries me a little bit.
I'm also going to throw down, as my last Masters bet, I've got a couple things for the NFL draft as well, but I'm going to throw down Bhatia plus 200 for a top 10.
I've got him in one of my drafts.
I like it a lot.
Love it.
He looks like he's playing good golf right now. I feel pretty confident about it.
Akshay Bhatia, Fred.
You should have heard Mad Dog yesterday hit the... I give Hagen credit. It was pro golfer. People look down on it. What's here? Go ahead.
Facts are fact.
Did he keep telling the guy he was doing well in the middle of the interview?
Yeah, it's like-
You're doing very well. It's fantastic.
But if I'm the
stuff."
guy, I'm like,
Mike, we get it.
it was a great promotion for the book, and I love Mad Dog, and so I can listen to him do stuff like this. I think it's funny, and not funny in like a mocking way. I actually think it's like fun. But if I'm the guy at some point, I'm like, dude, like you've named like 40 of the dudes on my list. Like part of the book is you don't know where they're ranked, and you're giving their ranking.
I'm going to give you the top three right now.
You got Sergio Garcia at 89. He's one of the active ones. Let's count up the active ones. He's like, and if I'm the guy, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, why buy the
Leave
book?
something for people to buy, yeah.
But like a lot of these old dudes like ended up in insane asylums and stuff. Like they all like went bonkers.
What?
Yeah. Like old ones, like pre Palmer, like that whole thing. Like a lot of those guys, like and like the amount of dudes that got the yips, like Bernard Longer.
Now, did he?
Tommy, it's Armour. Tommy Armour.
Do you know this from the interview, or did you see the portraits up on the walls when you were in there?
Oh, the Golf Hall of Fame?
No, in the loony bin. Do they have past residents?
Oh no, the very few. It would have to be the guy that won the Open in Brookline years ago. He would be the only guy that went to the funny farm around
Francis
here.
Ouimet?
Yeah, Ouimet. If he went to the funny, maybe he was in the same funny farm as me.
Oh.
How many Connecticut dudes would there be that could have gone to rehab in Connecticut?
Very few.
Betty Ford, probably a lot, but I was only in there for a couple of days because of COVID.
All right, what is your NFL action?
So I've got 3 NFL plays to give out. One is rather big. I don't know if you guys have been listening or taking naps during the rest of the show, or if you guys have been tuning in to like local media. Perfect. This Jalen Walker stuff seems to be picking up in New England a bit.
Yes.
So currently on DraftKings, you can get the New England Patriots as their first drafted player plus 800 for a linebacker.
What is your opinion of Alex Barth having Shedeur Sanders going number 2 to Cleveland?
I think after this morning, that is definitely that is definitely what seems to be going on, if you ask me.
Because they got Flacco.
Yeah. Why not? He's serviceable. It's fine.
They are taking.
They have Kenny Pickett.
And they have Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
You still think they're going to take a quarterback?
No, I don't know. I think they're going to take Shedeur. Or I'm sorry, I'm not Shedeur. I think they're going to take Travis Hunter.
Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
He's saying they're taking Shedeur Sanders.
I mean,
which
he
I
knows
think
better
is,
than I do, but I think that they're going to take
no,
Travis Hunter.
Here's what I think happens to Alex Barth. I think he's a tremendous writer. But in Hardy, if I discussed this off the air, he does so much homework and he knows everything. But deep down inside, it's got to filter through that Patriots fandom. It's got to get through that grew up during the run, during that 20-year run.
But
it can't get around. He's so much orange juice drinking Bill Belichick.
Okay, but his mock draft came out before the Flacco news.
Oh, well, yeah, that just came this morning.
Yeah, so and he even said, like, yeah, maybe not so much now, but he still thinks there's a path there.
No, but his reasoning for them taking Shedeur Sanders is that they had a lot of people at Colorado's day, which also had the guy who's considered the best player in the draft there.
I think it's Travis for them, but that's just.
I'm just saying that seemed like mental gymnastics. I don't
know that they shared a pro day. They could have had 2 different pro days.
No, I can assure you that 100% they shared a pro day.
I wasn't there. Actually,
in fact,
were you there?
I think I was
might
there.
have been there.
Yeah. In fact, you might have been. In fact,
you were there.
In fact, Travis Hunter caught balls from Shedeur Sanders. That's the only thing he did at the pro day. So yes, I know for a fact. I saw a video.
You love the draft.
I love the draft.
Yeah.
You would think he was going to be here that week.
Is it in Detroit this year?
No, it's in Green Bay.
Oh, okay. Was it in Detroit last year?
Yes.
Okay.
And they had like 100,000 people, which is odd because I don't know why you would go. But I know why you went when it was at the Marriott Marquis in New York.
I went in Vegas 3 years ago.
Was it fun?
It was so fun.
Well, yeah, because it's in Vegas.
Yeah, Vegas is awesome.
No, it would be Detroit's a good place for it. It's a really good place for it because everything is right there. It was at that Campus Meritus. Like that's that. It would be easy to go to, and I get it. I just don't know why you'd want to be among 100,000 people watching like television screens. I mean, you could drink, they have like all that, but I mean, as a spectacle, I'm not sure why 100,000 people would go. But what do I know?
It's super fun. I mean, the NFL does a really good job, in my opinion, even outside of the fact that it was Las Vegas, of getting really cool merch and cool vendors and a lot of food trucks and stuff like that. Like, even if it's a smaller place like Green Bay, have you guys been to Green Bay?
No.
It's a small town.
Well, yeah, I would figure.
But I don't know how they have the amount of hotels and stuff to house everybody for this, but the NFL does it right. I think you could do it just about anywhere.
How many mustached longshoremen are going to be there? Like, it would be at the Marriott Marquis yelling about draft picks.
Why not?
But when they said Kyle Brady going,
Yeah. Jet fans wearing an actual jet on top of a hard helmet.
Where's Stan? Don't worry about it.
I'm
going to the toy store to buy something for your kid. No, I'm buying a toy jet, and I am going to glue it to my helmet. Brilliant!
That's right. Jet fans are one of a
cracked
kind.
the code.
So Jet fans will
That's
go to
very
Green Bay.
creative, you Vinny. All right. Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, I got screamed at by a guy with a giant chicken wing on his head in Buffalo, so nothing's worse than that. The other two things that I would like to give out are going to be the New York Jets taking an offensive lineman. I think that's pretty signed, sealed, delivered.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think they might take the tight end. And if Jalen Walker's on there, I think they might take Jalen Walker. But go ahead.
If they trade back, I think I could see them taking Loveland or someone like a tight end or something like that. But I think that they just too badly need an offensive lineman. And I think that is becoming clearer and clearer by the day, especially at this price. So,
well, yeah, they need. If they take the kid from Missouri, they don't need a left tackle, and they don't need guards, and they don't need a center. They do need a right tackle.
Yeah.
So the kid from Missouri would fit right away. But
I like him better than Campbell.
a lot, that's a growing trend.
I think draft nerds do. If you genuinely believe that this hype on him is really getting above Campbell, go out there. I don't know what his price is. I could go look at it, but it was plus money last I looked of him going as the first offensive lineman. So Armand Membu, I think, is a great play if you're looking for a little bit of value there, just because the conversation seems to be kind of leaning that way. But we're getting in the point of the draft where you've got to start making some decisions, because these draft boards, the more information that comes out, these prices are going to get worse.
Or just ask me.
True. And then the last thing I'm going to give out, just because of, obviously I'm a little keyed in down in Jacksonville, not, whatever. I'm deep in the Twitter conversations, Reddit conversations. I think that the Jaguars are going to take Mason Graham. So if you can go out and get a defensive lineman edge for Jacksonville, minus 135 on DraftKings right now, I think that that's the best price that I see. It very, very, very much seems like that is their guy.
Interesting that Mason Graham would still be on the board at 9, and that means Shedeur Sanders falls very, very far, perhaps to Pittsburgh. And then what if Pittsburgh took Jackson Dart? I think
I'm waiting for that. Dan and I have had this conversation a bunch on our show, so if you're sick of hearing it, I'm sorry. If you get any decent price, I haven't seen any come out yet, on Jackson Dart to go in the first round, snatch it. I don't think that there's going to be a good price, just because we saw what happened with Michael Penix last year and Bo Nix and kind of the run on quarterbacks. But if you see that at a decent price, a lot of people think that he's going to be a second round guy. I do not.
Okay, and just one more thing. If you're looking for tea leaves and you want to take a huge shot, the NFL invited, and Jalen Milroe accepted an invitation to the draft, and they don't want the guys sitting in the green room not getting taken. And so, and they didn't invite a lot of people. That's a huge flyer. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if you wanted to take a crazy chance, people are comparing him to Teddy Bridgewater, not Teddy Bridgewater, Ravens, Lamar Jackson. They're comparing his raw skills and lack of accuracy to Josh Allen. There's a lot of comparisons going around like that. Go ahead.
I will say the other thing that I like about the Jacksonville bet is that if Abdul does fall, or something gets a little messy with that, the one thing that I would like to remind people about the draft is that you do have to pay attention to some of these positional options and the combinations of, defensive lineman, edge, straight up linebacker, those types of things when you're looking at these, because depending on how they're drafted and what position they're labeled, that can kind of screw you over sometimes. I'm not saying it's all the time, but just beware of that.
All right, there you go. Beware of that, Kendra. How do people follow you?
You can find me at Kendra Middleton everywhere but Twitter. It's Kenny with an I Middleton, and I think that's all I got. Oh, I was going to say, me and Wallach were talking about this. That simulator, if you'll do it. The cramp simulator.
Yeah, I don't care. Yeah,
I'll buy one right now.
All right. It's like having period cramps?
Yeah.
Oh, I can do Hardy's
You can do
favorite
a segment.
character.
You know what? I'm
that's
watching the
next
Masters
Friday.
anyway. You can do whatever you want. I'll take
Next
my head.
Friday.
Next
Is
Friday.
he here on Friday? It's got to be while Hardy's
I was going to say
here.
that's
Are you
that's
here
going to
next
be when
Friday?
you guys are both here. So yes, that's
And I'm
going to
put on
Friday
a
at 9.
Dutch boy wig
Kendra just
and a
coming
bow
with the
tie.
bits, loving it.
It'll be
Or I'm
Shark
gonna-
Week for me
I'm gonna
next
wear
week too, so we can
a-
suffer together through
A
this
poet
segment.
tweed jacket.
Just sweater
I'm gonna
vest.
have. Yeah, sweater vest might be better. A tote bag, and I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna go. Finally, I can feel it. He hates it so much. As much as he likes Jameli's dad, he does.
Yeah.
He the antithesis of that is what I'm doing.
Two ends of the spectrum.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, Kendra. We'll be right back. We'll
I think I
finish
just
things up.
ended Wallach. Sorry.
All right, you two have your own conversation.
We'll do it later.
The big boys
Now
are
just
talking.
two bugs over there.
Jesus Christ, you two. Get a room. The sexual tension between these two.
Between
I'm-
Wallach and Kendra, I know.
I know. I've had enough of it. It's what it is disrespectful to your wife, John. Quite frankly.
Correct.
All
She's
right.
not listening.
We'll be right back. She's not to hate me.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Chicago Black.
98.5 The Sports Hub app.
It's called Rising and Grinding.
Start your
Got
day.
your finger on the pulse, Fred.
Begin your
Seldom
day
right and never wrong.
right here. Is that Toucher or is that Hardy?
Kinda looks like a poodle. It's an effing poodle, dumbass.
The Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
Hey, we is at the Masters this week as a credentialed photographer for Masters.com. Now, apparently, he picked up photography after he retired some 15 years ago, much like, an 8th grader who decided, I'm going to be a photographer. I want to be a butterfly. But Ken Griffey Jr. has stuck with it. And since then, he's been credentialed to shoot events for Major League Baseball, Major League Soccer, the NFL, and IndyCar events, and now add Augusta National to the list.
Probably could have cleaned up in that game we just played.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But as a huge fan of Ken Griffey, do you own any of his prints or any of his...
I do not, and I was unaware until yesterday that he was doing this.
So not such a Ken Griffey fan after all.
Yeah. Maybe just a baseball playing part of his life.
We did not do our email segment today. Anybody care to guess how many emails I've received from Blind Scott today?
Over under, Fred.
The over-under would be 10.
Okay.
I'll go over on that.
I'm going to say under.
This is, I believe, a new record today in terms of emails from Blind Scott. As of 9:12 a.m., he had sent his 29th email of the day.
You're going to be busy replying to those all day. I don't know how you're going to find the time.
That's one every 10 minutes for 4 hours.
All right.
Wow.
Angry at first, but gracious in defeat in the sixth-man competition in which earlier today we crowned Guy from Machine.
And again,
The
Blind
sixth
Scott, there is no prize. I mean,
Yeah.
You lost or gained nothing.
No, he's...
Are we doing the Adam 12 thing or no?
Oh, I forgot it was Friday.
That's okay. I'm going to see Mogwai tonight. I'm not interested in anything else. Thank you.
All right. Well, I know the Masters are on, and you're all doing other things.
We can probably throw it together real quick.
All right. At least play the music.
Yeah,
And don't
cost, but it's unlimited.
Oh,
so
whoa. Okay. What is the policy on trench coats with Ziploc bags fastened to the inside? Are you able to like the mutton? Are you able to put it in your jacket and have it and travel with you?
$39 for unlimited steak frites Sundays, 12?
Steak? What am I, Mark Capello? Get out of here with that.
You don't eat steak?
Not anymore, no.
Okay.
No.
Are you vegetarian?
Not really, because I'll still eat like chicken and stuff, but mostly meatless.
Get out of here. I finally something, again, this is an obvious one. Adam 12 will be attending Monster Jam 2025 at Gillette Stadium tomorrow. Of course he'll be there.
He will be there for sure. All right, there you go. We got it all.
Enjoy your weekend.
Indeed. Thanks, Jay Stu. All right, congratulations to the guy from Machine. Everyone enjoy your weekend. Again, a game tonight.
You look like he's ready for a little action.
In Groton at 5 o'clock.
Super. 5 o'clock in Groton. Even better.
Yeah, so Route 2 at around 4:30 should be cooking. Cooking with gas. All right. Everyone enjoy your weekends. That'll do it for us. Bye.
Fred, goodbye.